Content no one needs.
Oh man,
we're doing it. We're making it happen.
we're doing
Welcome
it.
to Tops and T-shirts.
This is the 5 on 5 podcast presented by directmusicservice.com. I am one of your hosts, Phenom, coming to you live from sunny tropical Portland, Oregon. Down the street from me in Texas, the man, the myth, the legend, Jupiter Williams. In the belly of the beast, Sin City, Las Vegas, Nick Lopez. And our very special guest today, I'm going to say it like Saturday Night Live. We got a great show lined up for you. It's Morse Code and DJ Ivy.
Boom, 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 boom.
Good, y'all.
How you guys doing?
Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
Great.
Especially y'all two.
Busy. I can tell. Everybody's busy. Hella busy, which is
Everyone's really busy. I just came home from work, literally. Walked in the door, and I'm here, and I'm happy to be here.
So how bad is LA traffic right now? Because I imagine it's just always shit, but it's different variations.
So
she would know better than me.
I'm in the streets all day long. It was, to his benefit, crazy earlier today because I was able to like mod during traffic on Twitch because
that's right.
It was so bad. I was like,
damn, you're just there.
Coming from like LAX area, coming into like
shout out to the traffic. All right.
Shout out.
Right now, it was easy peasy. I just lost my car. I couldn't find my car.
Whoa. Okay, that's fair.
My assistant parked it somewhere. And then I forgot to listen when she told me where she parked it. And then I was walking around my neighborhood going, oh shit, I can't find
my car.
She wasn't
where's my car?
So I found it.
Well, at least you can say that's like a boss problem to have, right?
Yeah, right?
That's a super boss problem.
Yeah.
As soon as
I
she
don't know
said
where
my assistant
put
to
my
my
car.
Yeah.
And I forgot what my assistant said because she's too bossed up to pay attention to her assistant.
I was just busy and too busy to listen.
Yeah.
My assistant is
paperwork.
also me. My assistant is me, who's also a fucking idiot. So here he is.
So you're just talking to yourself?
Yeah, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Where'd you leave your car?
He's just fucking nuts and homeless. I don't even have a car.
Oh, your assistant.
My assistant, yeah. You don't want to work with my assistant. It's just we're here. We made it happen. It's a fucking Christmas miracle. We're so glad to have you guys on the show. You guys are both extremely busy, and we aren't going to take up much of your time. Probably 6 to 7 hours tonight. It's a quick podcast.
Absolutely.
We're going to move through. Every week, what we do around here, we compare two artists head to head, their top 5 songs as viewed most popular on Spotify. This week is Nick's pick. We're going to go 5 rounds and kind of talk about these songs. You pick a this or a that. Nick, what do you got for us today?
Well, this is a secondary pick. As I was telling you guys before the show, I had picked Mary Jane Girls versus Vanity 6.
Woo!
So sick, right? Dope matchup. Vanity 6 does not exist on streaming platforms. Neither does Apollonia 6. So
shout out to
I got one of their 12 inches recently.
Shout out to the estate. Didn't let it happen.
Yeah.
So I changed the vibe altogether.
Okay.
And we're doing Musiq Soulchild versus Dwele.
Whoa.
I wanted to do 2 R&B like quasi sensations that were kind of short-lived.
That I love.
So I knew, and Travis is ahead, so I knew this was going to go down. Round 1. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is actually dope too because they're like, you know how both of them kind of did some whack shit towards the end?
Yeah.
None of that's on the top 5, so this is dope.
That's good.
And if you need a refresher too, feel free to mute.
Feel free to
play
mute
the
and pull your phone up.
And then come back in. Yeah.
Oh, where?
Obviously we do this for the clickbait. 2 very relevant artists. Here we go. Round 1. Just Friends versus Find a Way. Anybody can jump in. Usually we let the guests if you guys have an opinion, but if you need a refresher.
I only know Just Friends.
That's the
yeah. I mean, I would pick that out of knowing that one versus the other one. But do you want to
see? I'm so bad at these things because I have distinct reasons why I like each thing. But I gotta go with Find a Way. You can press me for details, but for now I'm gonna go find it.
I mean, hit me with it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean the J Dilla connection with Dwele, I mean, already kind of puts him in a different category for me. And the whole Detroit thing, and I'm just really partial to that overall. Admittedly, that is the only Musiq Soulchild song I know. So I'm not sure where we're gonna go from here. But I do love that song. I remember when that video came out, and I was like, wow, like that's dope. It's so catchy.
Can you sing "Find a Way" for me? How's it go?
Sorry.
Does anyone sing it for me?
It's like,
since you and I, it wouldn't hurt to try to find our love. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know it. I'm gonna still go with Just Friends.
Well, and then Dwele to me is like, he's like one of those like aliens. Like, he's like a D'Angelo type figure to me.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So
underappreciated, I think. I think both artists are underappreciated.
I feel like Dwele is like for the heads, like, because he was never like super duper pop until he did the Kanye stuff. But even then, that was just once.
And that was for the heads. That was
for the heads. Dwele,
because that was the breakdown of the song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, and what was that? This is like I'm gonna get.
Power.
Was it Power or was it Flashing Lights?
Oh, Power.
Power.
Whoa.
Yeah,
the end of the song when it switches up, he talks about killing himself.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
He's on Clip's Nightmares too, right?
Yes, he is.
He'll pop up randomly, but like that's because they're like these people are heads, you know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Musiq Soulchild. Just Friends on there. Yeah.
Hey, it's the beatbox for me. It's the beatbox.
That's such a fun song to blend too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Love that song.
That's like opening DJ set right there.
Absolutely. Or close the night out with that too.
Bro, do you know how many hands I held in 6th grade singing this song?
Hey, me.
This is
I can guess 2.
At least
2.
Casanova Lopez.
You know what I'm saying? Musiq Soulchild set me up for the next 3 years of my life.
He got you a couple shorties.
I was with my bubblegum grill. The whole thing. I was doing a lot of great things in middle school.
Moving on
round
possible, as quick as absolutely possible.
So Beautiful versus I Think I Love You.
Oh, see.
All right, we need a fresher.
Okay,
hold on. We
got Trav.
Okay.
I Think I Love You. I think I love you. Yes.
So, easily.
Yeah. Easily.
So soon?
No, so
Okay, so you're muting us.
I'm kind of partial. Go ahead, Nick. I want to hear your opinion on this, even though it's not going to count.
I'm with Dwele on this one. Yeah, So Beautiful's good, but I'm with Dwele on this one. Music's first 2 albums are where I'm at. Like those are just masterpieces.
Yes.
But
this song, just this matchup, I'm going with Dwele.
Yeah, I'm confident with that too. Yeah.
All right, we got our verdict.
Where y'all at?
It's unanimous.
What do we got?
Dwele.
Okay.
I think I love you.
I think I love you. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I love you.
Yeah, I mean, I
fell asleep at So Beautiful.
It's a swooner.
Yeah.
She was like, I just woke up.
Like on the Spotify top 5, what's popular sometimes is like some like beautiful love song that's slow, right? But like him and I are more like boom bap lovers, or like R&B, like soul mixed with like something with a beat. Like we always want funk and soul roots.
Yeah.
So like when you give me something that I'm like,
steppers, like we like the steppers.
We like the steppers.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Now, don't get me wrong. There are certain slow jams that like I'll go ham on, but like some of them I hear for 1 second and I'm like,
I'm good.
Yeah. The way I feel with joints like that like if you don't have a direct nostalgic attachment to it from when it came out, it's potentially more difficult to get into now. You know what I mean? If it's a lot slower.
Yeah.
And this was definitely like very like a specific sound, like the Philly neo soul thing. Like, and this song didn't hit then, it ain't hit now.
Yeah.
Right.
I
round
feel
3.
like nightclubs you couldn't play any of this in a, I mean, maybe, but definitely not like a bottle service spot. They'd be like, yo, like,
Yeah.
what? Like,
Yeah, he's right. They said put the remix on.
Yeah, play the remix. Just play the remix.
Play the remix.
Round 3.
Round 3, Half Crazy versus Open Your Eyes.
I don't know either of these.
Okay.
Open Your Eyes is a Bobby Caldwell cover.
Yeah, that's the more popular one of the two, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so sick. And then Half Crazy.
I love Half Crazy.
Yeah.
Just those, they got like those Carl Thomas guitars. It sounds like a song that Carl Thomas should sing.
It does sound like a Carl Thomas song.
Right.
That's funny. Oh my God, I'm dying because I had that Carl Thomas album.
Hey, I did too, man. I did too.
Shout out to Bad Boy.
Did I have I Don't Want to Know on there?
No.
No.
I Don't Want to Know is Martin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now first of all, there's also a cover of Open Your Eyes by the Platinum Pipe Pipers, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that because that's where my brain went when I was like went to check out the Dwele.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think the first time I heard it, I thought, is Dwele in Triple P? But
yeah. And I think they might have gotten down together at some point, collab. But
I think they like had a feature, but he's not in the group.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like Wajid and
Wajid group? That's cool.
Just the two of them, yeah.
Did all the beats. No, it was Wajid and what was the name of that singer? There was a few cats in there.
Oh, I thought it was just the two guys.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they just had featured like female vocals.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Maybe on a few tracks. Oh yeah, but I guess the core
would be the two.
The core was Wajid and one other dude. Okay.
So
well, I'm gonna go with Dwele again. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
I'm going Half Crazy on this one because I actually know that one and I really like that beat and it's nostalgic for me. And I remember when it came out, and that's one of those like the lights are coming on at the end of the night, kind of like.
Yeah, it's a heat.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I know this.
And it has that like 3/3 rhythm, that waltz.
Yeah.
A waltz. A waltz.
Swinging.
A waltz, yeah.
R&B waltz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Travis, where are you going on this?
Oh, music.
Yeah.
Musiq Soulchild. But the Dwele song, man, you can easily put Musiq Soulchild in that song. You can switch both of them out in both of these songs. You can switch both of them out.
You're right. I mean,
any of these
Soulchild
songs
could have covered "Open Your Eyes."
Yeah.
Say that again.
Musiq Soulchild could have covered "Open Your Eyes" and it would have sounded very.
Would have been just
exactly.
fine.
Yeah. I'm always going Bobby Caldwell. Shout out to Bobby Caldwell.
My gut said that, but then I was like, oh yeah, I love Half Crazy.
Yeah, you got la la la.
Crazy's fire.
Musiq
actually just put out a mixtape, I think a year ago. I just heard it for the first time like a month ago, but it's all Dilla beats and he's like covering like old soul singers.
All right, we got to check that out.
Wow.
It's cool. It's on SoundCloud. It's not on Spotify. I'll send you guys the link.
Oh, sick.
We want a link after this.
Yeah,
I was going to say how Bobby Caldwell is like the Blue-Eyed Soul track that took the neo soul world by storm, because you have the light,
right.
And then you have these covers. It's like pretty dope.
Yeah, Bobby Caldwell is very important to neo soul.
Well,
for anyone listening, Bobby Caldwell is white. I guarantee one person is gonna have their mind blown by that
It's
fun
just
fact.
you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I think that's so odd, but I guess I don't know. In my mind, like my introduction to him was the light, and so once I looked it up, I just found a white guy. So I don't. In my mind, I never really considered the fact that
that's fair.
What about Rick Astley? Was that a surprise? I think
Yeah, I
we
was gonna
talked
say,
about that
like-
before. No,
The
that wasn't.
name.
That wasn't a surprise. Okay.
Yeah,
Rick
for
Astley's
me, yeah, Rick wasn't
hella
a
white.
surprise for me either.
It's a white ass cadence.
Yeah, right?
It's
Ain't
not
no
like
stages to go.
Yeah, there's
Ashley is
nothing.
not like a homie down the block. That's like
Yeah.
Nah, that's
Right.
like some Hall and Oates type. It's cool, but it's very Caucasian.
It
Nobody's
is.
he's
Yeah.
we like Rick, but
We do like Rick. And you saw the way that he was dancing in that video too?
This is a Rick safe zone.
Yeah.
This is a Rick safe zone.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we
love
all
Rick.
like it.
We love Rick here.
Yeah, yeah, still doing
we
it.
love Ricks.
we love Rick's rap.
Rick James, Rick Astley,
Yeah.
Big Rick zone.
Springfield.
Big Rick energy. Big Rick energy in here.
Yeah.
Oh
Big
my
Rick
God.
energy.
Someone has to do something with
That's gotta happen.
With
That's
all
gotta
them-
happen.
That's like a shirt that's gonna sell at Spencer's.
Yeah.
No one's buying that. Don't make
It's
that a
Oh, I
just
would
like
buy
him,
that.
it's a trench coat and a sweater,
Yeah.
just a silhouette. All right,
Hey,
let
that
me
could
move
be
on.
our
I'm gonna
next
get
merch,
I'll
Round
design
four.
this whole shit. Round
Round
four.
four.
Musiq Soulchild Love versus Dwele Truth.
Ugh.
Get on him.
Oh yeah. Sorry, we're going mute.
No,
Yeah,
go for
I
it.
don't-
Love
I
is
don't
a
know this.
karaoke anthem.
Anthem. It's right up there with what was that Keisha Cole song?
Oh yeah, see, these are these R&B cuts that like gangsters love.
Yeah. You played it. You played in the club. The biggest G in the club will will sing his heart out.
Yo, Guapale, Keisha Cole,
Keisha Cole.
and Musiq Soulchild.
Yeah.
That's the top 3 thug love songs.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's how you soften the room up and everybody's happy.
Exactly.
Anywhere that serves hookah, hit them with those 3
Yeah.
at peak hours and everything will chill out.
Anywhere that serves hookah.
Anywhere serving hookah.
Okay, I'm going with truth.
Yeah, we're both. I'm feeling that too because it's more. It's another stepper, like
Uh-huh.
like not anthem, but it's more like appealing.
Stepper vibes.
Stepper vibes. Where, but I do like the Musiq Soulchild, and that's another late night.
Yeah.
Turn the lights on. Everyone's singing. My friend Monty plays a party downtown LA called Love Jones on Tuesday night, and he would that type of
That's
shit.
in there every time.
Like
Mm.
everyone's like singing along. They're singing to Mary J. They're singing all this stuff, but like the slow jams. So
Mhm.
I see, appeal to
See, if
that.
I was in that room, I'd be like, wow, like
Yeah.
this is dope. I don't know this, but
Yeah.
like I would respect it. I would be like in awe of everybody singing along. I feel like there's this like particular like lane I just totally missed the boat on, kind of.
I feel like that type of vibe would be at like 143.
Certain slow jams. I was like, maybe I'm
I
just,
can see the one.
maybe I'm
Yeah.
maybe I'm just too old because I remember like like the Babyface joints in Mint Condition and that shit, and that was like
man.
all over the radio.
They know all those too.
That,
Yeah, you gotta hit him with.
for me.
Yeah.
You go in with Love, and then you follow it up with a little Tevin Campbell.
Woo!
Yeah.
Ready?
And like a little.
Have Canada ready or
I feel
Mhm.
like by the 2000s, I was just too like, I don't know, obsessed with like Dilla and Madlib and stuff, and like I was just missing the boat on some of these joints. I don't know.
I mean, this is still like Soulquarian
This is
stuff,
Dwele
but it's
from
very
Detroit?
So Dwele is
Oh,
First thing
that's
I
like
said.
Detroit, so like Slum
Yeah.
Village,
Yeah.
Dilla, and all that stuff.
And that's why I know Dwele. I mean like Musiq Soulchild.
But music was a little pop, but it was still Soulquarians. Like he was,
right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
music's from Philly, right?
yeah, he's from Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's with Erica.
But he was
Badu and
very
Roots
much a
and all
pop
that.
artist. Like this,
Like-
this stuff is all top 40.
Like I knew that Bilal album like front to back,
Yeah,
but then I don't know. I kind of missed the boat on Musiq Soulchild. I don't know.
I feel it.
Mhm.
That's an easy because he was like the most polished out of all. of them.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
so, like at the time, I can see why it wouldn't be appealing.
And I don't know if he had any Dilla beats on his albums. So,
I don't think he did.
Right.
I don't think he did
Not-
either.
I don't want to confirm that, I'll do a number crunch after this next round. But
YouTube will be sure to tell us.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't.
Hey, and if you guys are watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified every time we drop a video.
Thank you
guys.
We love it. Wait, I wanted to say that True sounds like something K Tronada got inspired by when making some of his music. It's all kind of in like the same kind of vein as far as like sidechain drums and all that. So yeah,
I can see that.
I just looked in my iTunes library to see what was going on, and I knew he was on Tainted with Slum Village and Dime Piece with Dilla. So okay.
He's for the heads. Like if you weren't watching, or like he would slip through. Round 5, Musiq, Teach Me, and Dwele, Count the Ways.
Oh my god. Oh man.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, like, it was a good top 5.
That's a really good top 5. That last one's gonna hurt me.
It was a really good time, like, because this is a Slum Village song.
Yeah. Leak made me go last.
Yeah, I'm always gonna go Slum Village. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. That's like,
but it's a Detroit Deli Slum Village song, so I don't think that's Dilla.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
that might be LJ.
Unanimous decision on
Musiq
this
Soulchild. The more I listen to, the more I'm like, I guess he had to be there.
That's a review, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm good.
I love that review, though. Just had to be there, I guess.
Are you from Philly? No. Okay. Moving on.
Yeah.
That's like, that's. I feel that.
I mean, Slum Village is on the other one, so we're going Slum.
This was actually this is a later Musiq song, so that is fair to just be like,
We were like, that's the like Tainted era. You can hear what
you wanted the first 2, so I just want to sing and just listen. After that, it's cool, but it ain't. You know?
This is cool because this is making me realize that I didn't realize I could do such a deep dive of Dwele on Spotify or whatever. Like,
yeah, there's a decent amount of Dwele. The only one that, and I'm just kind of going off the cut. It's not the Rise. Rise was that Dilla, or the Dwele album that had like Jimmy Stay Down and all that.
Oh yeah.
Fire. I have like a bootleg of that I remember in high school drawing the label because I just didn't.
Yeah. I think I downloaded that like off of like LimeWire or something.
He had a lot of like really white label records like floating around too. Like unreleased stuff that would get pressed on vinyl and would like, I remember it would like fly off the shelves at the
you would say, I remember learning about it and being like, yo, what, like Dwele was cool. I'm telling that was hip hop R&B for the heads.
And then when I heard Devin Morrison for the first time, I was like, Dwele?
Yeah.
And I mean, talk about influence, like, you know, it's like it's right there, but it's dope. Like Devin has his own thing, you know, like it's like an LA twist on that Detroit sound.
I was gonna say it's a lot of like Dwele meets like Raphael, like that early stuff, like mint condition type.
That was the guy that you put me on, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's tough, dude. His stuff is so cool.
Yeah. Raphael?
No, Devin Morrison.
Devin Morrison. Is that the one that you got on wax that you played for me? Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I geek because I'm also really into anime, and he did a song about Slam Dunk, which is a basketball anime, and he made a song about the main girl in the song, like a love song about her, and it's so good.
Oh, you told me about that.
Yeah, I will play the hell out of that song still. It's so good.
Oh yeah, I think that's what you put me on.
Ayako, that's the one. That was the one that got me into him.
We need a link to that song too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you.
The links at the end.
A deep dive.
A deep dive.
This type of stuff is fun because it like makes people talk about it,
Oh,
and
for sure.
you learn more, and then you're like, wait, I never connected those dots, and what you just said is dope, and like,
Yeah.
then tomorrow I'm going to be listening to Dwele's whole catalog.
Just
I gotta
going
see
down
if
the
like
rabbit hole.
Rise is on like SoundCloud or something because it's just fun to listen to.
That's the one. I do want to do a lightning round with you guys. This is a this or a that. This is only going to be for Ivy and Morse Code. You pick one, the other you have to delete out of your Serato forever. Forever and ever and ever. Starting with this. Red Hot Chili Peppers or MGMT?
The whole artist?
The whole
You gotta
artist.
pick who you keep.
Which one do you keep? And you guys can have different opinions, obviously.
Just all of their songs that you have in your computer?
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
You have to completely like Thanos them, like erase them from existence.
I have to pick Red Hot Chili Peppers and delete MGMT, even though it breaks my heart because one of my good friends and old boss just married Flea.
Shout out. No big deal.
out.
Sonny.
Wow, no big deal.
I gotta say
LA.
Ride or Die. I love Red Hot Chili Peppers. You can't make me take that out of my library.
Woo.
Okay, so I'm terrible at this shit, and like the first, like I already want to make like this like subdivision response because I'm like, okay, in the context of like playing out at places, I'm gonna pick MGMT,
right?
Because kids brings the house down everywhere you go.
Yes.
Yeah. And then like as many like dope ballads as the Chili Peppers have, it's not like let's go type energy.
Yeah, it is, but
like,
it depends where you go.
Well, it depends, yeah. but then like in
white people.
White people love it.
But then like in life.
All right. Yeah, okay. I hate to do this. I hate to do this on the first round. I gotta be a stickler.
Yeah, stickler for the
Both
rules.
groups rule, man.
Yeah.
You gotta pick one.
You gotta go one,
right,
only one.
Okay, I'm deleting MGMT.
Okay. Chili Peppers stays.
Ouch.
Man.
Ouch.
Anthony Kiedis.
You're supposed to want to shower after this.
Yeah,
it's not fun.
Yeah, you like it makes you feel bad. You're like, no, but I can't do this.
Boom, gone. Kids is gone. Good job.
Well, let's try this one. Mace or Drew Hill?
I'm getting rid of Drew Hill. I'm keeping Mace.
Okay.
Shit.
It's really tough though.
I mean, but
I can't ever play sleeping in my bed again.
I know.
Yeah,
Sleeping in my bed rules over every Mace.
You want to dance? I cannot make you dance. I'm sorry.
You want to dance?
I
Too
know.
bad.
You're like Drew Hill. No. All right, fine. I'm deleting Drew Hill also because it's sad. But I really like Do You Want to Get Money? And Mace with like Brandy.
Oh yeah.
On Top of the World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mace is a dope rapper. Like he's got bars on bars on bars. Like he's dope.
Murder Mace. I'm curious. Have we, Travis, pick? Have we used Cameron?
No, not
We
yet.
have not used
How come you
Cameron
didn't
yet.
do Mace versus Cameron?
I can tell you who I pick on that one.
Oh yeah, Children of the Corn, right?
Because of the top 5 matched up pretty well
Oh.
with that.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I feel that because Cam's
I
done some good
agree.
shit.
What was that super group? It was like Cameron, Mace.
Yeah, Children of the Corn.
Foxy. Oh no, you're right. Children of the Corn. I'm
Children of
thinking.
the Corn.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking the
Children of
Firm
the
for
Corn.
some
Yeah,
reason.
who else was in that group? I forget who else was in that group.
Oh man.
I know it was Mace and Cameron.
That
Basically,
might be a number crunch.
Somebody else dope. I
Yeah,
forget.
it's like
I don't-
Freaky Zeke
yeah.
or somebody like that.
Freaky Zeke, that's a name.
could you imagine?
No, Freaky
Freaky-
Zeke's in The Diplomats.
Yeah, he's in the Diplomats. I was like,
Yeah.
Ricky Top.
like, that's how you know you're a Diplomats fan. If you
Yeah.
Zeke.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It was Big L, Cameron, Mace,
Big L.
Big L.
Herb
That's what it
McGruff,
was.
Bloodshed.
It was Big
I mean,
L.
talk about a super group. That was a Harlem super group right there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Big L, Cameron, Mace, and then somebody else.
Herb McGruff and Bloodshed.
Oh,
Who's Herb McGruff?
yes.
Of course, Herb McGraw.
Herb.
You know him, you love him.
That sounds
Like the crime dog.
Yeah.
He was just a solo guy. Did a couple features on Big L's album.
You know why they do that? Because they try to like amp up Herb McGruff to be like, oh, he's in a group with Big L, and you're like,
Oh,
right.
yo, he was in Belly. Yeah, I was right. It's just the cast of Belly. That was a joke, but that's real.
Shout out to that movie.
I feel like such a scrub because he was in Danger Zone too. Like he was in some noteworthy ass songs.
Oh shit.
Well, we're
Okay.
talking about Mace. Shout out to Mace's verse in the Lean Back remix. It was like
People forget.
ever.
People forget.
And also shout out to Mace's verse in the what's it called? The Wale song, Light Work.
Light work.
Oh,
Light Work.
yeah.
Light Work
Oh,
remix.
yeah.
No, Slight Work.
Slight work.
Light work.
Slight work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Light work.
We just need the
Light
Mace
work.
verse only edits of these songs from now
Yeah.
on. Let's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
let's normalize that.
You could
Yeah.
say that Mace made light work of his cameo on Slay.
Yes.
It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, right.
I like the jam with Total and Why You Looking at Me too.
Oh,
yeah.
They're looking at
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Oh no, not
I'm
that
not
one.
deleting those. I can't.
You, all
Mace
right, that's
stays.
fair.
All right.
What about Jealous Girls? Remember Jealous Girls?
No, I don't know that one.
Ladies, there are jealous girls in our town. Oh,
I need that one.
it's
Okay,
the flip. It's the flip of a New Edition. Jealous. Yeah.
Okay.
He's singing on it. Oh, it's so good.
Clever.
Well, if you like Herb McGruff, you're gonna love this lightning round choice. Ashanti or Sierra?
Oh,
Ooh.
tough one.
For all the Herb McGruff listeners.
Oh shit.
For all the Herb McGruff
This is
stands.
this is like Vanity Six, Mary Jane girls.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
tough. That's tough. I'm deleting Ashanti.
Oh,
Ooh.
you cold.
Yeah, that is cold.
Sierra has
I'm-
like
I'm
eternal.
deleting Sierra.
Sierra has like eternal club bangers
Okay,
that go so hard.
sorry, Sierra. I hope she's not watching because I did open for her and I have a mix on SoundCloud and I love Sierra. She's the shit.
Okay,
However,
but
Ashanti has some bangers
yep.
like R&B 143, like slow jam bangers. Don't get me started. I love Ashanti. She's got some hits. I love both. Sorry, Sierra, I love you. Oh, so sad.
Think she does. She's here. She's listening. She will.
She does
Yeah,
listen.
no,
she
she's
does
listening
listen.
with Russ.
She lets us know. Yeah.
They're listening.
As well as these two divas, Diana Ross or Donna Summer.
Ooh, I forgot we did that.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Oh, and also Sierra will be listed on every remix for other artists I still have in my catalog if I delete her.
Yeah. Also.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Ooh, Diana Ross or Donna Summer?
Yeah.
That is really tough.
It's a tough one.
Okay, do you have to delete the Supremes too?
Neek,
Ooh,
what's that?
weak.
you have
You
to
have
delete
to delete
Supremes?
the Supremes, or can you keep the Supremes and you just delete Diana Ross's solo?
Supremes are out of there. Like, you know what? Supremes can stay.
Ah, neat.
It does. Is that because I mean,
Because
if you
no.
delete Drew Hill, is Cisco gone?
See, that's the thing.
I don't think I can.
We've never
delete-
actually been asked this.
Does
I'm
the
gonna let
thong
that
go
go.
away if you delete Drew
Yeah,
Hill?
does thong song go away?
No,
Does,
I'm gonna
does
say
spray
that.
paint silver hair
I'm okay
go
with
away?
this rule.
So wait, does this mean if I pick Diana Ross, I have to delete my MP3 of DJ Techniques? Come see about me.
Yes.
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 What?
Very specific shout out there.
These
It
are
makes-
these are
make
the
or break.
kind of rules that I like. I'm going to say that the group stays. The solo career doesn't exist.
Okay, if I can live with the
Okay.
Supremes, then I might
Oh.
get rid of Diana Ross. I'm gonna keep Donna Summer.
Yeah,
I can't get rid of I Love to Love You, baby.
Okay.
same. And
I
also,
I can't delete that song from my life.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I'm thinking
Oh,
about
and-
I'm thinking about I Feel Love.
And
Oh,
the
yes.
remix you play all the time on Home Time.
I Feel Love.
No.
The edit or no?
Oh, it's I Feel Love? That's not I Feel Love.
What are you talking about?
It's not state. There's a State of Independence
Oh.
edit.
That actual Magic remix?
Yeah.
Talking about?
Wait.
That's like an Indian cover of State of Independence.
Hold on. It hurts just a little. Young Pulse rework.
Oh.
If it hurts just
Oh,
a
yeah.
little.
Yeah, if it hurts just a little.
Okay.
Come on,
Sorry.
baby. A funny story about
Sorry,
that song.
Diana.
My uncles are all musicians and they're in a band like in the 80s and 90s. They toured all over the place. And certain songs I heard for the first time when they covered it. And that song, Hurts Just a Little, I thought my uncles wrote.
No
Oh,
way.
wow.
I heard that song and then like years later, I heard the real one. I was like, yo, y'all didn't, because it's on their first album too. So I'm like, that was a cover? You know what else? Working Day and Night is one of those songs too. Michael Jackson. The first time I heard it was my uncle's band, not Michael Jackson.
You're
I was
like,
like,
these
damn,
guys
y'all
are
are
so
just-
fucking
You were
good.
young and you didn't know. You were like,
No, I was a kid. I was
"Oh,
like 5. I had no idea. I'll never
Yeah.
forget. I was sitting in rehearsal. My uncle leans over. He goes, because I loved Michael Jackson. He leans over and he's like, hey, you know who does this song? I was like, you guys? And he's like, no, it's Michael. I was like,
Michael,
why
who?
are you playing it? I did not understand the concept of covers.
Who the hell is Michael
Wait,
Jackson?
wait a minute. I love that
Who the
story.
hell is that and why aren't we suing?
I have a cringe moment like that where we did a show and tell, and my mom told me I had Santa Claus's gloves, that he left his gloves, and I brought them into school. And then that just haunts me years later that everyone let that slide, and people were wowed that I brought
Like,
those
how do
in.
you have these?
And like the teacher had to have been looking at me like, what a fucking moron. And it's just drilled into the back of my head like, oh God. Presenting anything. I followed that up when the Titanic movie came out on VHS. The copy I got came with a fake copy of the Titanic newspaper the day that it crashed. I brought that into school as well and told everyone that was the real thing, and wowed everyone at recess. People were blown away by this.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, this is no big deal. I got Santa Claus's gloves at home as well. So
Santa Claus, I'm never gonna see gloves the same. Every time I see gloves, I'm gonna think Santa
That is
Claus.
so funny.
Were they red and white?
no, not even. They're leather with a little wool on top. I'm like, this is not even close to what Santa Claus would wear.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Everyone
They're
like
like
that
purple.
ride.
You're
Yeah.
like purple. You're like, yeah, sure.
It's Michael Jackson's glove.
I had funny story. My mom took me to see Michael Jackson when I was little, and I had his sequin glove. And I think when he walked by the crowd, he touched my glove or something, and I cried. And then I didn't take the glove off for like 2 weeks.
Pass out though.
I'm never taking it off.
Oh, I
Michael
love that.
Jackson touched my glove, and I was like bragging to my mom's like, "Okay, take the glove off."
It's starting to smell.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so
Nothing
funny.
happened. I gotta check. I either bought it at the concert and was just obsessed and wouldn't take it off, or he touched it. I can't fully remember, but I was so young. I gotta ask my mom.
Oh,
would've
that's
never watched
Oh
that
amazing.
my
glove.
God.
I am jealous right now.
Real quick, because you brought up I Feel Love, we recently found a Cher song that was also produced by Giorgio
Ooh.
called
Yes.
Bad Love, and they were supposed to be for each other. So
Ah.
Cher was supposed to get I Feel Love. Bad Love is sick, bro. Don't thumbs down. It's
Why
sick.
thumbs down, share.
You don't like the
It's
song?
no. Do you believe in love? I'll say
Yeah, I was
that.
about to say the auto tune, the birth of auto tune.
Every time I hear that song, I think it's South Park now.
We're not doing
But anyway,
this.
Cher Bad Love is Fire. It's very
Nice.
similar to song. Though. Check it
Beat that. We need to
Do
start
I
making
have
a
this?
list over here.
Oh, I'm on it.
Let's go even deeper down the rabbit hole here. Steely Dan or Gangstar?
Get the.
What?
All right. Yo, it's been cool. I'll see you guys.
We have our first walkout.
That's our first walkout. folks.
Antonio Brown's up in here.
What is that? 92 episodes. We finally got a walkout.
Bring
Yeah, right.
Antonio Brown
Is
back.
that, the,
Bring,
is that the first time someone's walked
You're
out?
doing this on
Mhm.
purpose, aren't you?
People get mad, but nobody's flat out just walked off.
yeah.
No.
Nobody's
Like,
pulled
come
an
on.
Antonio Brown. Come on.
We'll
I
edit
feel-
it to make it look like we talked you out of it, and there's like a whole thing. And please come back. Please join us. Yeah.
It's like you.
No,
it's
don't
like
go.
You, know me.
Oh, that's.
You really know me.
You really know me.
Oh, yes.
It's not easy. It's not fun. And
you guys, I'm not gonna front. I'm a newer Steely Dan fan. Of course, I know a couple classics, and I've always known them since I was a child. And I used to be like, okay, I used to be anti groups that everyone else liked, so I really did not like.
New Kids on the Block.
No, I did like
NSYNC.
on the block, but like, let's say
Backstreet
not
Boys.
everyone, but I'm just gonna say like, oh god,
you love all the groups.
no, that's not true.
Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray, shout out.
Following.
Hey, you see the picture above her shoulder too?
Yeah,
she's like, I hate all groups.
Everybody.
I hate
groups.
That's all right. Nick thought it was the fucking Lakers, so we're good. We're good.
I just saw a bunch of brothers in yellow, dog.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, what? Why am I drawing a blank right now? Not Jerry Garcia, but Grateful Dead.
Oh, okay. Grateful Dead.
So Grateful Dead. Like everyone loved Grateful Dead where I grew up.
She didn't like anything kind of like twangy.
Yeah.
Or like kind of.
That's not true. I like country music. And I'm like,
the definition's
okay.
wrong.
Let's just say Grateful Dead had such a strong following that I was just like, I don't like that. And then he's like, how do you not like Grateful Dead? And he played me a couple songs. I'm like, oh, okay, I do like
Well,
this.
I mean, I get when people don't like Grateful Dead. That's not that,
yeah,
not that shocking.
I don't like all of their catalog.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Right.
Steely Dan was like, it was like, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. So it's like everyone's dad was like, Steely Dan. And I was like, no. And so because of that, I didn't do my research, and had I done it, I would have liked Steely Dan. And yes, I like the songs that were sampled because those are obvious. But someone I remember asked me at a party I played, and they were like, it was like dads, and they were like, play Steely Dan, and I was like, and I was like early 20s. And then later, when I realized, I'm like, fuck, I really like Steely Dan. Like, so if I go off of my instinct and what I know and with my heart, I gotta delete Steely Dan because they're too new in my catalog. I cannot delete Gangstar.
Fair.
So,
Man,
he's gonna walk out again.
You're just not even playing fair. Well, because I celebrate both groups' entire discography,
Hands
much.
down.
And like have all their albums on vinyl, like, and both groups are groups that I like. I'm always just reaching for their records, like without even really thinking about it. If like playing a lot of these like Twitch sets and stuff, I'm just always reaching for a Steely Dan record or a Gangstar record. So
one after the other.
I'm sitting here really thinking about this. I'm rather than try to even break it down to a musical thing, I'm going to say, it kills me to say this, but I'm going to say I'm deleting Steely Dan only because they're both still alive. R.I.P. Guru.
R.I.P.
So I'm taking Gangstar.
Only one member of Steely Dan.
Oh no, that's right. Walter Becker passed away.
Yeah.
So that's
well, DJ Premier is still alive.
So that's
still alive.
Also only one.
Okay, here's how we fix this. We get Donald Fagen. Okay. We get Donald Fagen and DJ Premier together.
Steely Gang.
For a collab.
Steely Star.
And that's how we answer that question. Nah,
that's
but
the Infinity Gauntlet. That's how you.
The Gangstar.
But it kills me because, and I grew up listening to them both from a young age.
Gangstar.
Tough.
Yeah.
It kills me to say it, but yeah, I'm picking Gangstar. Just
that's fair.
They're eking them out by like just a hair.
It doesn't kill me as much as it should. But
this is gonna be sick.
Man, when that came out of your mouth, I was like, "Are you?"
No, it's fine.
High?
It's fine. I'll let Michael McDonald know. It's totally fine. I'm sure Michael will be real happy about that.
Is it Steely Dan with Michael McDonald or without?
Michael's out. Michael.
Yeah. He sang backup vocals.
Yeah, I was like, hold on,
at least
guys.
we still have Michael's solo career.
Speaking of which, if you check out The Making of Asia, there's, which I believe is readily available on YouTube. Mm-hmm. There's some behind the scenes footage when they're in the studio and they're pulling up Michael McDonald's background vocals on Peg. I know this because Mike B and I actually created a whole interlude out of that for a Pools like little skit on one of our mixtapes. But basically, Donald Fagen is like turning up the like Michael McDonald vocals and soloing them, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, Mike," because it just sounds like out of context. It sounds just bizarre. He's like,
"Sorry, Mike."
Like, foreign movie. And it's just, you know, him doing background vocals, but yeah, out of context, it just sounds bizarre. It's great. So
what is that doc called?
Okay, so I believe it's just like the making of Asia, you know.
Okay.
And so you should be able to find that.
We'll put that in the links after.
Yeah, we gotta have the link exchange.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was released like years ago as like a VHS thing.
Got it right there.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's fascinating. I mean, they talk about like, for example, how many takes it took to get the guitar solo they wanted on Peg.
Yeah.
And they went through like hundreds of takes. They brought in like countless session musicians to do different takes. And then they settled on what I believe Walter Becker in the video referred to as like the Hawaiian style guitar solo and Peg.
Yeah.
That's
They
funny.
they play Uptown too, and then while they're talking about Black Cow, which is fucking dope. Because they start saying Uptown, baby, Uptown, and then they talk about clearing that sample.
Yes, that's right. That's right. You're right. Yeah.
I didn't even know
That's
that.
great. There's like, I mean, you could just like Mike and I did. We just like we sampled them talking about all that stuff.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
You guys
Shout
are
out
gonna
to
hate
Michael
this.
McDonald.
Shout out to Michael McDonald.
Shout out to Michael McDonald. That's 1/3 of the Holy Trinity.
1/3.
I don't think you guys are gonna like this.
I have to watch this stuff.
It's fucking great.
That's how you gotta sing, Michael McDonald.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta sing from
Comes from here, right here.
You guys see that? Did you guys see that meme about how, or it was like, I mean, it was somebody online talking about how Anita Baker slowed down? Sounds like
Michael McDonald.
Yeah.
Blew my mind.
Mind blowing.
I haven't seen that, but that's incredible.
Hilarious.
So great.
All right, another thing you can share.
Giving you the best that I got.
That's it. That was it.
Oh my God, there's so much good Michael McDonald stuff.
Anita Baker as Michael.
I know, but I'm just saying, there's a lot of fun around Michael McDonald.
Anita Baker, chopped and screwed, is Michael McDonald.
Yes.
That's fucking true. You guys are gonna hate this. I'm just gonna deliver it with no pageantry. Sade or Aaliyah?
What?
Man.
Bye.
Both guests have walked out tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
We
That's a first for that as well.
Now you did it to her, yeah.
We got two
Yes.
Antonio Browns up
Yes.
I know who she's gonna pick.
Oh, I hate you for making me do this, but Sade's gotta go.
Oh yeah.
Hey, let me know.
Sade.
Let me know. She said her name right.
Yeah.
She said it right.
Yeah, because a lot of people fucked it up, and we also said Sade multiple times.
I love
because
when
that's what's
I
on the
love
CD.
when British people say Sade. They always say Sade.
Yeah, Sade.
Oh, I love Sade.
We gotta dishes and listen to Sade.
God.
Aaliyah, baby girl, I love you.
There it is.
Okay, since we're doing things that we're talking about with these artists, maybe you've done a little research on us. I don't know. But I did an Aaliyah tribute mix, and it's like 90 some minutes long, and it's like cutty as fuck. And my friend Monty, who I told you did he does the slow jam parties. Shout out to Monty. He helped me with the track list, and it is, I would say, my most like popular mix that I made that has the most plays on SoundCloud, and I got an actual sign off from her brother.
What?
When we posted it, we like tweeted and we sent it to like Missy and Timbaland and everybody, and we were tagging everyone on like Twitter. We made this in like 2014, I think. Her brother literally tweeted and like like an Instagram storied or whatever and thanked us. I have a
Wow.
screenshot of it and I cried.
That's
Yes.
incredible.
He owns her. He owns her estate.
Oh, wow.
He's the
like,
one that's hard to please.
He was like, no one has done it like this. This is incredible. Thank you for putting out this beautiful like work.
Yeah, speaking of deep dives, I mean, when I listened to that mix, I was just like, wow,
I was
It
going to
has,
say
like,
Aaliyah's
50
catalog is
It has
so
like
big for how short
53
her career
songs
is.
on it, and it's
Yeah.
like not all the obvious ones.
pretty wild.
That's
Damn.
dope.
And Aaliyah, I would say, I think Monty, I love Aaliyah so much. And Monty, that's like kind of what brought us together is our love for Aaliyah. He knows so much more about her than I do. And he was like, oh.
Which is saying a lot.
Yeah, because I
She's
know
She's
a
sang a
lot.
lot of songs.
But like together, we like put our minds together and we were just like, oh my God. And
so
literally,
tight.
I'm an Aaliyah completionist. There's not a single Aaliyah song, unreleased or released, that I don't have in my catalog. I'm not deleting that shit. I love Sade. But I can't. Aaliyah is like my favorite artist of all time.
That's what's up.
Who are you deleting?
Mic drop.
Well, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
definitely Aaliyah, and I was actually just thinking to myself how this is comparable to me picking Dwele in a way too, because anyone that's kind of directly connected to any sort of like Dilla, Doom, Madlib type situation, I'm just gravitating towards that. And that's, I mean, I was like a Sade fan growing up, but it wasn't really until Operation Doomsday came out in like 99 that like I really kind of went back and was like started, getting even more into Sade because of Operation Doomsday. So
Oh yeah.
even though he had that weird ass other singer,
Yeah,
on
someone
there,
else like cover it.
but that's kind of
it was cool.
It gives its own kind of bizarre charm.
Shout out
Yeah.
Doom.
That one breaks my heart. Like I'm gonna cry after this. Like if you asked me if I could only have 2 artists in my catalog and I had to delete everyone else, it would be Aaliyah and Sade.
Oh,
Damn.
that's a great match.
Yeah.
Like I if I had to listen to just 2 artists the rest of my life, I guess my life would be kind of sleepy, but
Yeah.
really sexy.
super chill.
Sad
It would
and
be
sexy.
sexy though.
I don't even remember it was the battle was Smooth Operator versus At Your Best. I think. I don't even remember what the beginning
I forgot too.
what the round 1 was. And then
What?
two was 2 in that because we did that
Oh, you did a
matchup.
matchup of
Yeah.
them?
Oh.
The second round was By Your Side versus Are You That Somebody, which is not
Yeah.
easy.
Oh yeah, because it's different now. Aaliyah's top 5 is different.
And
now.
is it the original or the Neptunes remix?
The original?
It was the OG, yeah. Yeah.
I would have to pick At Your Best. I'm sorry. I love Smooth Operator so much, but let me know.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Well, yeah, I mean,
The jam.
so far, those 2 things you just, now I'm bugging out because I would pick Aaliyah for both of those so far.
That's the thing
He's like,
about
"Oh,
this
fuck."
freaking thing is Spotify. We're at the mercy of Spotify.
I know.
Yeah.
But
So
it's
you'll
a-
be
it's
like,
good-
yo,
it's
like-
a good rule. It's a good rule.
Yeah.
Like
We
it.
had one recently that we were like, oh, so and so is gonna sweep, and then like
It's
Yeah.
because
Yeah, I
the
gotta
top
look.
5 songs are not always.
they're not
Right.
always
Ones
what you
for
would
us.
hope.
It's like TikTok dictates it and other whatever's popular and all of that.
But shout
Um,
out to Lauren London as New for singing the Aaliyah At Your Best in the car. She's
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
what? And I think I used that on one of my
I
mixes.
love Nunu. That's the best.
Mm.
I know, right?
I feel like I used that on my Sierra mix, but I can't.
Shout out to Overdose and the song Lauren London because
Oh, shout out to Lauren London. She's the homie.
sick.
Oh, okay.
Really cool.
Oh.
I met her from Melody Asani too. See, this is why my loyalty sticks with Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Fair
That's
enough.
fair.
Okay,
Fair
all right.
enough.
That's fair.
She like told me the whole story about being in the studio and recording like the shit she did on the NERD and the Pharrell album. Like when she did on my show, you have to hustle.
Mm.
He's like, go in there and like it was amazing. I love that.
Oh
song.
shit.
That's so
Don't put
tight.
Pharrell in this.
No, we're
Hey,
it's-
Colin, hit it.
We have two more in the lightning round, and then we're going to talk about you guys because this is a lot of music. It's very easy battle. It's Prince versus Michael Jackson.
A single tear.
Very simple.
Just a very light conversation.
Your argument of them being alive doesn't work in this instance. So you're gonna have to go off music.
DJ Premier though is still.
Dude, I'm really looking forward to the Donald Fagen DJ
Donald
Premier
Fagen
tour.
and Premier are going on tour this summer.
I'm
That
there
would be
for
great.
it. I'm fucking
Believe that.
I'm fucking there.
Prince or MJ?
God, that is tough.
One wore a glove, one did not.
One didn't wear anything.
One had his ass out, and one did not.
There are many. If you go on a personal level, we could get really weird right now. But we're gonna go artistry only. Oh. Okay, if you delete Prince, do you have to delete Vanity 6 and every artist that he's
Nico.
produced?
Yes. Yes.
Or Spotify won't even have it, and you don't have to worry about that.
Or yeah,
That is
it
true.
doesn't have it, so you don't got to worry about it anyways.
Who's
all right.
going
Well,
first?
my inner child is going to be really pissed off at me because if you tried to take away my Thriller record from me when I was a little kid, I would just scream and cry. But on the strength of multi-instrumentalist, producer, songwriting, et cetera, I got to go with the purple one.
I think I have to agree on that same level, on the same argument. Like he's incredible. I mean, they're both incredibly talented, but Jackson 5.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Michael Jackson touched you, but we can't say that.
I know,
sentence.
Michael Jackson was woven into the fabric of my life, and the sparkly glove, and like I had color forms, and I had a Beat It. I had everything, MJ.
So
But I didn't know about Prince yet because that's not appropriate for little children.
Mhm.
And so I learned about Prince later, and my adult side says Prince. My inner child says Michael, and is that saying something weird? That's a whole different argument.
I think that's right on track with what the music was
Okay,
meant
I'm
to
gonna
do.
stick with the purple one though, just because.
That's fair.
Sad.
Oh.
It's so sad.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Then we'll hit you with the last one of the lightning round.
I know. We both just jumped.
Do we pause for a dramatic effect?
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Insert a sound effect. Like,
Yeah.
You guys got your shoes on. You got your card ready because you're definitely gonna leave.
Yeah, everyone's walking out on this one.
Okay.
We ask this question every single episode. We're at 90 something episodes now, and we always end the lightning round with Outkast or Hall & Oates.
That's evil.
Yes. So the car's ready, right?
Grab the Pomeranian and get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Well, it kills me to do it, but
It's been fun. Sorry.
Hey, they leave and get stuck in LA traffic.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere.
Just stuck at the door.
yeah, this kills me to do it, but I gotta go. Hall & Oates is out of here.
Oh.
I'm picking Outkast because it's just too deeply like intertwined into everything. I don't know.
The only song that truly would make me shed a tear is Sarah's Smile. Like that's one of my favorite songs of all time. It's like one of those like belt out at the top of your lungs. Also, I sound like an idiot while I'm doing it, but this is great. But Andre and Big Boy, we love you. They're a whole era.
It's tough.
Like I can't delete.
Well, I still
ATL.
just listen to Outkast all the time. I mean, I play Outkast all the time in sets, but then like in my spare time, I listen to Outkast still all the time. I can't really say that for like, I don't know, too many people where it's just like a go-to thing, like over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I play more Hall & Oates probably in sets. I play a lot of Outkast, but like listening to more Outkast. So
That's
we
fair.
gotta say goodbye to Hall & Oates, and we're looking forward to the Donald Fagen DJ Premier Club, and then
Yes.
everything will be fine.
Everything will
That's
be
all you
fine.
need.
The universe will come back.
That's all you need.
I guess that wasn't that hard for them.
That wasn't that hard.
No, Sade
No.
Mia
Other
made
ones
me
were.
cry, and
Gangstar
Yeah.
Steely Dan.
Gangstar
was
Steely
insane
Dan
to me.
like ripped his heart out of his chest.
After
Some ugly
everyone walking
moments,
out, yeah,
but
everyone
we
walked
made it
out.
out.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Congratulations, guys.
I
You did
figured
great.
you guys be in Rancho Cucamonga by now.
Shout out.
On foot.
Shout out.
On foot,
Yeah.
taking Foxy Brown with me. We're running.
Get on a bird scooter.
Oh,
and
the
pounce.
dog's name is Foxy Brown?
She's sleeping. Oh, Foxy Brown, that's the Pomeranian.
Wait a minute.
Don't
Foxy Brown the
put me in
singer
a
or
matchup.
Foxy Brown Pam Grier?
No, Foxy Brown the rapper.
Oh.
Cool.
I
'Cause
love,
we did-
I love Pam Grier. She's the queen, and yes, she's the OG Foxy Brown.
Yeah.
And
got
I
you.
have that. I just got that record this year. I'm super.
Oh, hey.
We did do Foxy Brown versus Lil Kim.
I was
But if
gonna
you
ask.
have the dog
Don't
named
make
after
me do that.
Oh, we're gonna make you do that.
I'm glad you didn't ask me that.
Yeah,
That
no,
was
we
sad.
won't.
But my
Because
dog
based on the
name
rules,
is-
the dog is out of here.
my
Just let you know.
dog's name is Foxy Brown. You like all Foxy Brown things.
Any relation, she's out of here.
Anything.
Yeah.
Since this is a DJ podcast, we do like to talk about DJ stuff as well. I want to get into the start of how you guys started DJing. I don't know who wants to take it first, but I definitely want to hear both of your journeys up to how you guys cross paths and now leading into the Twitch.
He's a little older than me, so he started first. He should go first.
All right.
All right. Ageism.
Off to a
Oh,
great
yeah.
start.
I mean, I hate to go into the the DJ bio. Like Morse Code grew up in a very musical household.
This is
Yeah,
what
you
we
can
use.
just hit
We'll
us
use
with
that.
the EPK real quick.
Yeah, right. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can get
Like, hold
through
up,
this
let me
quick.
pull it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, both my parents were really into music, super musical household. My dad had this incredible collection of music he would play on reel-to-reels. He also had a whole bunch of records, which I ended up stealing a lot of them later. My dad was like into jazz and Motown, super into Sly and the Family Stone. He actually met them and took like pictures of them when they came to visit, or they had a show in Boston, and he got to hang out with them. And so he loved Sly and the Family Stone forever. And so he put me up on all that. And then my mom was really into like artsy, cool rock, like Talking Heads and Laurie Anderson and stuff like that. So really eclectic right off the bat, growing up in San Francisco, took piano. And then there was a point where I want to say when I was around 13 or so, I was like, I liked playing piano, but I just knew there was like something else I wanted to do, but I didn't know exactly what it was. I had already been listening to the radio like crazy though, and getting into hip hop. And basically one of my best friends in high school, his older brother had turntables in their attic. And he was really like, he was like, this is off limits for you guys. Don't touch the turntables. So of course we snuck up there and messed around on his turntables. And then there was a tape player up there. And one day I brought over a blank tape. They actually were having a party at their house. And rather than hang out at the party, I snuck upstairs, popped in a tape and pressed record. And I'll never forget, I blended Tribe, Oh My God, with the Desmond Decker tune from the Harder They Come soundtrack. And I beat matched them, and it sounded good, and I recorded it. So I ran downstairs. I'm also showing how old I am. I ran downstairs with the cassette, yo, and popped it in on the tape player in the downstairs of the party. And to a packed party, I pressed play, like, check this out. And it was like something out of a movie. Like everyone started dancing. And I was like, hey, I think I could do this. And my friend's older brother was like, like literally from a movie, just like, nice. Like, went from being like mad that I snuck up there to like approving of the tape. So that was like right there. That was a turning point for me where I just got hooked, and I saved up and got my first pair of used Technics 1200s, actually the same ones I have now. Those things are like tanks. When I was heading into senior year of high school. And then I went to college in Oregon. I was literally just like obsessed. Like I was in school, but I was mostly just obsessed with scratching.
Hold on, what school?
Willamette in Salem, Oregon.
Shout out.
Yeah, big up Willamette. So sorry to my sorry to my freshman year roommate because I was just like incessantly like rocking doubles, trying to get doubles down, and just scratching like a maniac, not well, and just hammering away at it. And I was so obsessed that like, you know, it had to have been an average of about, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours a day. And then, so those like first 5 years, I literally just played some college parties, like some really informal gatherings and stuff back home. But when I came back from college to San Francisco, that's in the early 2000s is when I started just like going out to clubs and bars and just hanging out, meeting folks. DJ B Cause was kind of the first cat that really kind of took me under his wing. It's the classic story. Like I was standing in the booth. He's like, "Hey, I got to go to the bathroom. You want to hop on?" I had brought up, a couple records with me, not even expecting to play. He comes back from the bathroom and I was like doing well enough, so he just let me keep going. So he and I kind of like kept doing stuff from then on. The rest is like, yeah, it's boring, but that's the foundation right there.
That's fresh.
Hell yeah.
Pretty much.
Bought your first Dwele record and were hooked since.
What's that?
Bought your first Dwele record and was hooked since.
Tell them your first.
Oh yeah,
name.
In senior year of high school, I was DJ Optimus Prime.
Yes.
And the first like thing that I ever made that I actually like gave away to people or to like represent my sound was DJ Optimus Prime Funk and Jazz Breaks. And it was a collection of like super like crate digging 101 like samples that were recognizable from hip hop songs.
Put that in the link too. We need
that.
Please.
Yeah, right.
Do you still have that?
Prime.
I still have the cassette around here. And then like when I was
convert that.
In college, see, I've never been particularly good at naming stuff. In college, I got real highbrow about it. And I was like, okay, I want to be called Salvage. Yeah. Because I was like, I'm salvaging old sounds or whatever. So and when I came back after graduating college and I came back to San Francisco, and one of my best friends that I grew up with, he's like, "You idiot," because my last name is Morse. He's like, you're blowing it, man. He's like, you're Morse code. Come on. And I was like, my mind was blown. I was like, oh my God. And then, that's
you idiot.
So.
You're more salvage. Come on.
You're more salvage. Duh.
You're Herb McGruff. What are you doing? Come on.
Where's McGruff?
Ivy, how did you get into all of this? How did this start?
Oh, man. Okay. So I would say if you go back to childhood, I had like a Sesame Street Big Bird record player. It only played 45s. It had Tweet on the tone arm and you couldn't change the needle. And I carried it around everywhere. And my first record was Rhythm of the Night to Barge. And I warped it. I played it so many times. My mom says she loves that song. She's like, you wrecked that record. And then I had like Sesame Street counting songs and all sorts of crazy shit. And I would just sit. I remember I had a heart-shaped carpet in my house growing up because I grew up in like the suburbs in a stupid house with like, rich white people, and I didn't know anything about culture, but I was just sitting there and like I'd play marbles and I'd play like games, and I'd always play with my record player and my heart-shaped and carpet. And I sat there and I would like make I started like getting the little talk and play thing, like the Play School one with the mic. And I remember I'd get tapes like how he recorded himself like making a live blend, which is amazing. I didn't even think of doing that later, but I was making tapes where I was like a talk show host or I was singing. So I remember I was singing like Salt and Pepper Push It and like I was just like in my mic, like Salt and Pepper's here. And I have like these tapes are somewhere, probably at my dad's house. I have to find them. But I used to have talk shows and I would be the only person. So I would interview the guests and it would be me with different voices. Then I started like making mixtapes where I would just like record songs and put them together. I wasn't doing like pause tapes because I didn't know how to like transition them, but I was making mixes. And then later, let's skip to like, and I mean, I was like dancing. I would like charge people to have dance shows in my neighborhood. I was like, oh, we're having a dance show. It's choreographed. Let's go. And people would like pay $1 to get in and I would entertain them for a little bit. So I was just
Yelling
like
promoter.
crazy. Yeah. I started selling all of my stuff when I was little. I like took all of the things and went to the corner and like had a lemonade stand and I would sell like Babysitters Club books and friendship bracelets. The second I got like $1 in my hand, I was like, whoa, I need more of these. So I kind of figured that out, which comes along with the later part of the story. So I'm a little hustler to start. Then, you know, let's skip to when I'm like a young teenager. I start experimenting with like drugs and raves, and my friend introduced me to ecstasy. She like forced me to take it. She took me to a party and was like, you're gonna take a pill. And it was like, I was 15. And I was like, I really like drum and bass and jungle, and like something spoke to me, which I really love, like heavy drums and heavy bass, clearly. And then, which is why I like hip hop. And so then she brought me back to her house and put on the new Daft Punk record, which was the original. Is that Discovery or self-titled? The one we have. The first Daft Punk album. Anyways, with like Revolution 909 and all that stuff. Defunk. She played it like on repeat, and I know I have it in the crate over there. I know what it looks like. But I was like, you know, rolling my brains out.
I just had to. I was sitting here doing the same thing.
Thank you. I'm like, it's Discovery or self-titled. I couldn't remember.
Homework.
Homework. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Shout out Daft Punk Homework, because that's one of my top albums. Oh, look at that. Look at it right there. And I basically like was rolling my face off and dancing around to Daft Punk, and then I was introduced to the rave scene. So then she's like, I'm going to take you to a party. And then she took me to a party, and we didn't call it raves because you're cheesy if you call it a rave. You're like a party kid. So keep in mind, this is like late 90s, and I'm only a little bit younger than him. I'm turning 40 this year. So to age myself, this was like 82, 92, like 98, which is when Discovery came out, I think. So I'm like getting into lots of trouble, listening to DJs like a motherfucker. Like I was like obsessed with like watching AK-1200, like, you know, Aphrodite, like DJ rap, like any DJ funk, like tons of different genres. But I loved house, and I loved like ghetto tech and drum and bass and jungle. Trance, I was such a bitch that if someone was playing trance and made me go in a trance room, I would like go take a nap. I'd be like, no. And I would like lay down. I'll be like, wake me up when we're taking drugs or moving into another room.
That's fair. That's fair. I think that's a consensus with all of us.
Yeah. And then I became a drug dealer, and then I was selling like ecstasy. And then I'm telling you this because it goes.
The story rules.
Yeah, it does.
Awesome.
Anyway, because I'm hitting 40, you guys are getting like the real story. I used to sugarcoat this story every which way, so that I was like, I listened to music once. I did this. And I'm like, no, forget that. I'm not.
Yeah, no, we're getting the real deal.
16-year clause.
Yeah, we need the real deal. We need all the bitterness in here. We need it all.
This is dope.
And it makes for more fun. So, and Morse Code's over here like practicing.
She's way cooler than me. I'm just like,
yeah, he's fucking beat juggling in college.
Good evening. I am
higher education. You're in these fucking streets, dog.
Yeah, I was a total music nerd. She's way cooler.
I was wild.
Optimus Prime over here.
I was like, what's up, nerd? Want some drugs?
Yeah, fucking ecstasy, dork.
That's exactly what I would have done to him. Like, wow, you're really cool. You want to try?
Oh, you over there juggling fucking Steely Dan record?
Why don't you
Fucking
juggle this
nerd.
ecstasy in your mouth, nerd?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What's funny though?
What is that, Bob James? Use some mic.
Oh my god, I'm dead, you guys. So I was obsessed with DJ culture, but I didn't know that much except dancing, music that I liked, and got into drugs. But like it would later lead me to becoming a DJ. So, you know, I was like in a heavy rave scene. And then I was like watching the DJs obsessively, and I watched from 15 to 20. So 5 years where he's practicing scratching. I'm obsessively watching. I'm trying to go into the DJ booth. I'm trying to look at their hands. I'm trying to watch what records they're pulling and how they're doing everything. I saw A-Track when I was 15 also at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio. And he won the DMC battle there. And that shit changed my life. That made me really obsessed with DJs because I was like, what the fuck is he doing? And this is insane. And so just kind of like watch, you know, I was always a spectator and I was terrified because I never saw a lot of women doing it. So I was like, what? I knew Spinderella, I knew DJ Rap, I knew like Shorty, which shout out to Shorty. I'm friends with her now, which is cool. And like I just didn't have an example of a female. And so I kept watching and being like, I want to do this shit. Like maybe one day I'll try. So then we fast forward. I'm out of drugs. I'm not in trouble. Everything's okay. I'm in college. Got a little slap on my wrist. You know, we'll talk about that in another podcast. If you want to hear.
She has a lot of them too.
Yeah. Every time, like Thanksgiving, my dad tells all the stories.
Sick.
So basically, I go to college, and then on one of my first internships, because I went to school for fashion design, so I switched gears and, you know, was doing things legally. And one of my first internships was at 555 Soul. So shout out to 555 Soul. If you go back to the rave days, I'm obsessed with UFOs. I'm obsessed with backpacks that hold records. 555 Soul was huge in the rave scene.
Yeah.
And
oh, okay.
your like soul backpack or whatever. And I mean, you know, streetwear in the rave scene was like huge. And Nietzsche and like Fat Farm and all that shit. So many cool things that I'm like watching and obsessing, and I'm like, I have to work for 555 Soul. That's my favorite brand.
So
like I'm gonna die if I don't work for them. And so when I moved to New York, I lived in New York City in like 2001 or 2 to 2004, and then I moved to LA. And so I obsessively went to 555 Soul. Like every weekend I'd shop, I'd talk to the manager, I'd make friends with everyone. I'm like, if a spot ever opens up, I'd love to work for you. I want to be a sales associate, whatever. And the girl was like, I really like your energy. You're super cool. I don't have anything right now, but I'll keep your number. I'll keep your resume. Like a month later, one of the homies like was put in his resignation, and she called me. She's like, I have a spot. And I was like, I'll be there. So I like hop on the A train as fast as possible, because I was living in like 190 and Broadway, basically almost in Washington Heights, because I didn't know any better when I moved there. So I hopped on the A train, went there, and I started working there. She hired me on the spot. Then I got a fashion internship at the headquarters, started working there as well. So I'm like going back and forth, and like my dreams have come true. I'm 20 years old. I don't know what my next goal is in life, because I'm already doing everything I want to do. So then I'm like, maybe I want to be a DJ, but I'm still scared. So then I was working with this guy named DJ Frog. Shout out to DJ Frog. He was really into like reggae, jazz funk, hip hop, dope dude, cool as fuck, old head, vinyl only. And I told him the one day, because we used to have in-store DJs, and there was a guy named Dome Recca, and I was like, yo, his name, Dome Recca. I was like, that name's so sick. I thought his name was Home Recca. So I was like, that name is ill. And he's like, no, it's not Home Recca, it's Dome Recca, because he wrecks the dome, like duh. And I was like, oh. He goes, but I know you want to be a DJ, so if you become a DJ, I'm naming you Home Recca. And I was like, done. Like, when do I start?
I got a name. I'm a DJ now.
Yeah. And he goes, okay. He's like, it was my birthday, like coming up. It was my 21st birthday. And he's like, I'm literally just going to have you like guest DJ. Go to the record store, buy enough records to play like an hour set, bring them, and I'll teach you the basic shit. Just like transitioning. We're not going to hurt people's ears. We're not going to try to mix out loud. You're just going to play records. And it's the first hour of your birthday. No one's there anyways. So I bought like Khalees milkshake. I bought whatever was hot at that time. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to play my records because I didn't know what I was doing. And I always wanted to be a jungle and drum and bass DJ, but I started to realize with like mass culture and hip hop, I was getting more influenced from hip hop and stuff and backpack hip hop and shit in New York, that I was like, maybe there's an opening for this because I don't see a lot of females in this category. So maybe I'm going to put my jungle dreams aside and play some hip hop. So then I brought records that day. I started playing one record and some lady came up to me and was like, oh my God, you're such a good DJ. And I'm like, I just started like 1 minute ago. Like, chill out. I was like, okay, but maybe there's some, like, it led me on to like, maybe there's something here. No one sees anyone in a club in my position, like as a female in New York. I was in like Bar Below in Brooklyn. It was a sushi restaurant that was hidden under it was a bar that was hidden under a restaurant. So then I started playing with him there. He would let me come play there. And then I started meeting all the homies and like, they were like, oh, you want a drink? Come play some hip hop with me. Let's go 1 for 1, 2 for 2. And my friend Drew, which you had a friend that, you know, you had turntables. My friend Drew brought over some CDJs. He's like, oh, you want me to teach you how to mix? I know a little bit, but he wasn't a DJ. So he'd bring him over to my tiny ass apartment in the East Village. And I was sitting there, he'd let me play with them. And shout out to Shannon. She was there, my business partner now. She was there when I was like mixing records and she was being annoyed with me the same way his roommate was. Like,
this isn't the same.
Great. You made a great transition. Congratulations.
This isn't the same person that parked your car, right?
No, she's my business partner,
Gotcha.
not my assistant. But she
Sick.
was yeah. But I like the callback.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Shannon's not driving my car. But I love Shannon. Shout out to Shannon. That's my best friend and my business partner. So anyways, basically I just started practicing a little more. I wasn't doing 4 to 5 hours a day, but if I did, I'd maybe be better at scratching. But so I was like, you know, obsessively getting into it and like going to Turntable Lab on St. Mark's all the time and spending all my money there and getting some hip hop records and going to like Everybody's in Brooklyn, all these like different spots. So I became obsessed with the culture and like really started getting hip hop and R&B. But it's funny, when Morse and I started talking about my record collection, we looked through and I'm just like, yeah, I have a lot of old like hip hop joints that I figured out on my own, but I have a lot of like 2002 to 2005 hits because I was a club DJ at that time playing like a lot of that stuff. So I'm going back and filling in the gaps as a later DJ. But New York, I played a bunch of spots for drinks and homie style stuff. And then I moved to LA and I was like, I just want one residency in my whole life. I want one spot I can play at that I can DJ and just have it as a hobby. This is going to be incredible. And I came out here, didn't know anyone. 2005 and then 6, I did stuff like at home, but I still didn't know anyone. And I was like, how do I break into this DJ market here? Because I don't know anyone. So I was also a dancer at the time, exotic dancer. Shout out to all my late night ladies. This also, if you can circle back now to the hustler, drug dealer, raver.
There's a lot of hustling going on at different
I
points.
love this. I love this.
This should be a
is
fucking
great.
movie. This is
This
a
is
screenplay.
fucking
we're listening
I'm
to.
trying to get the quick notes.
I'm on the edge of my fucking seat.
I'm off the seat.
Okay.
When does the murder happen?
Yeah.
Okay, if you see
So then I fucking
Zola.
ice pick this dude. No,
Yeah. This is Uncut Gems 2 right here. Let's fucking go. This is incredible.
I'm gonna talk to the writers. Okay.
Yes.
So the Safdie brothers, they made
Yeah.
make my life into a movie, or Vice.
Yeah.
So so basically, I come out here and I'm dancing and I didn't know anybody really. So I'm like figuring shit out. And I started writing a book also while I had no friends because I didn't know what to do with my time. And then like the strip club industry was so crazy. So that is something that you guys will be able to get someday. It's going to come out. I've been working on it for a long time. But then I started meeting some people, and my girl was dating a DJ. And I'm not going to shout him out because I realized that this is maybe giving information. It's very, very saucy. You guys can figure it out. So anyways, my homegirl was dating this guy, and she's like, oh, my boyfriend's a DJ. Like, oh, what do you do? And I like told her a little bit about it. I'm like, I'm making a mix. I'm trying to figure out how to make a mix and like press it and give it to people because I don't know how to get music out. And so I found a place that would press mixes, and he would only make the CD and give me the like cover art, but I had to physically burn them all myself. So I burned 500 CDs because he's like, you don't own the rights to this music. You got to just do this yourself. I'm like, oh, this is weird. So I burned 500 CDs by myself, like in my spare time, whenever I could do it, passing them out everywhere. Eventually I give one to DJ Edsky. And Edsky was like, yo, and he's a LA DJ out here. If you guys know him, he was, his mentor was DJ AM. Mm-hmm. And so he was really dope in the club scene out here. And he had a residency at Ledoux. RIP Ledoux. That was one of the coolest nightclubs in 2007. I handed him one of my mixes, and he's like, it's dope. I see what you're trying to do. And you're like, you know, it's not perfect, but I dig you. Like, you should come to Ledoux and open for me because I'm looking for like a girl to get on my team because I don't have any like female DJs. And I was like, all right, cool. So I came and I brought my records. I brought my Mobb Deep, and I brought my Gangstar, and I brought some Mary J and all this shit. And he's like, this is sick. You're really cool, but this is not what we play here. I can't play like my favorite hip hop and R&B joints in the back room of Ledoux. And he was like, you got to get on Serato. And I was like, I don't want to get on Serato. That's cheating. Like, I don't want to do that. And he's like, you have to. And so eventually he like forced me to get it. And then the one day I was opening for him, and he kind of like stalled on purpose and made me like play a little longer to test me out and see if I could like run the room. And I was able to. I mean, I was like flipping B-sides of my records. I was like, oh shit, I'm running out of songs. I didn't know he was going to do this. And he basically like put me through the ringer, but I held it down. And then he came, and then I literally got a residency with him. So I played every Friday night at Ledoux in the back room for a few years. And then another club opened, and he went over to the spot called My House. And then I got his residency. So that literally changed my whole life because that's the one residency that I wanted. And then I turned into like an actual career DJ shortly after that, but I never aimed for that. So, and the home Recca turned into Ivy because Ivy was my stripper name. And that was my stripper name in, where was it? God, you guys, I have different names in different cities. In New York. It was my stripper name in New York. And then I came to LA. Or no, I'm sorry. I was also living in Cincinnati because that's where I went to school. And at one of the clubs, when I was like, home Recca, that's my DJ name.
And you went to Scribble Jam and stuff.
Yeah, I used to go to Scribble Jam. I actually learned, I forgot. Sorry, guys.
An important one.
I learned how to
I got my yarn out.
You guys connect that.
Okay. I learned how to DJ from DJ Frog, then my friend Drew, then on my own. Then I went back to Cincinnati, finished school the last year before I moved to LA. And I dated this guy that was in a group called the Animal Crackers, which was like an executioner style group in Cincinnati, and they'd all play together. Shout out Dirty Roo, because he taught me how to DJ, and he taught me how to like scratch and baby scratch and really like step my game up, because he's a really dope DJ and producer. And so he was really pivotal in like getting my career like on point, getting my technique on point. So that was really important. And when I played in Cincinnati, and I used to play with him and other artists, they had to put my name on a board one day, and they're like, I'm not writing home wrecca. I don't like that. That's not. And I was like, it's funny. And they're like, meh. And he's like, you're DJ Ivy. And I was like, okay. And then it was DJ Ivy, aka Home Wrecker or Home Wrecca. And then it morphed into Home Wrecker, DJ Ivy, aka Home Wrecker, the Home Wrecker. It's had
Ivy
all
the
these
Home
different
Wrecker.
names.
J. Rue the
And then-
Damager, Ivy the Home Wrecker,
Exactly. It'll
Del
be-
the Funky
when you-
Homo
When
Sapien.
you look
I
up
got it.
my Wikipedia when I'm dead, if I ever have one, it'll have like associated names. Ivy,
Yeah,
Jersey,
aliases.
Brooklyn,
Home
Ivy
Wrecker.
the Home Wrecker, aka the Home Wrecker.
You were common sense, and then you became common.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. And then it stuck. And then eventually like DJ Ivy just stuck because I was able to like drop out, you know, and become the most prominent one like on a Google search. So I'm like, all right, fine, I'm DJ Ivy, that's fine. And so here I am now. And I actually met Morse Code in 2007 from DJ AM Banana Split. I was
Sick.
like, I think I was with DJ Muggs that night hanging out because he was also a mentor to me. I've had a lot of cool, obviously a bunch of cool stories. So
Yeah.
anyways, shout out to all the dudes that paved the way for me and gave me an
Sick.
opportunity, because I really feel like when the lane was opening for me, there weren't a lot of female DJs and there weren't any white female DJs in hip hop.
Mhm.
Like I don't feel like that was strong. And so I kind of used my sexuality, my looks. Like I would like put on a skimpy outfit and be like, I can DJ. And they'd be like, okay, let's see you. And then I'd like DJ and they'd be like, oh shit, you're dope. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
cool. Can I like put my clothes back on? Thanks. Like I literally did that so that I could get people to listen and pay attention to me. And I don't care what you say, you know, like skills over skin, sure, but like, hi, you looked at me and it
Yeah.
worked. So anyways, shout out to all my hustlers.
So
And-
sick. That was.
Fucking dope.
We don't usually ask DJ Genesis. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised when you asked that, and I'm so fucking glad you did, because we just thought,
I'd like to tell you, this is the first time I've ever told that story fully, like unleashed, uncensored, and you got the real version.
I
So
love
there
it.
you guys go. You can have it.
Thanks.
I texted them like 30 minutes ago when you were telling the story.
like, this story
and I was
fucking rules.
Yo,
Story rips.
Ivy
Yeah.
is the shit.
This is the coolest.
Yeah, that was
Hey.
the dopest story. We're still waiting for
you.
the murder. So when did the murder happen?
Yeah.
The
So
murder-
who
the murder's
died?
forthcoming.
Yeah. So all it needs is a death
It
Yeah.
needs
at
a
the hands
death.
of somebody in the story.
How about death to my old self? Because I did
Boom.
grow up a
Figurative
bunch.
death works.
I
Yeah.
grew up a bunch. I like morphed out of that like young baby. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure myself out to really like owning my shit. And like, I have to say, as a female in this platform, I just did a Rock the Bells mix for Christmas. And like, it was Z-Trip asked me to do it. And
Super dope mix.
shout out to Z-Trip.
Shout
No
out to
big
you.
deal.
Morse Code was like, this is fucking tight. I'm like, yes.
Hell yeah.
So, and when he really liked something, I'm like, I feel like he's my teacher sometimes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He's my favorite DJ.
Oh, yeah.
So, but shout out to Z-Trip. He asked me to do it. He's like, oh, it's a mix. You know, they're going to air it like 6 times during the week of Christmas on Sirius, on the Rock the Bells station. It's LL Cool J station. It's just maybe like you and Buck Rogers and Jazzy Jeff or something. And I was like, oh,
No big
okay.
deal.
And then when they sent me the actual list, it was DJ Scratch, Buck Rogers, Jazzy Jeff, Z-Trip's mix was gonna play, DJ Epps, Chuck Chill Out, who else?
Mr. C.
Mr. C.
Wow.
No other female. And I was like, you know
Wow.
what?
Just a couple names. You may have heard of
Just
them.
a
I
couple
literally
names.
like I've done so many things that are incredible, like opening for Wu-Tang or opening
Yeah.
for Drake, or like being mentored by DJ Muggs. Shout
Yeah.
out to Cypress Hill, incredible. Like I had a show on Be Real TV with him and like Be Real, and I was just like, okay, this is mind blowing, and that was a long time ago. But to be put in a rotation with all these like male legendary icons, I felt like do I deserve this? And then I was like, I do. I'm going to own this because I'm officially hitting almost 20 years of DJing. And like, I feel like I deserve this space. So I'm saying for my females that are out here grinding, that are the good DJs, I'm sorry, but I'm not fucking with all the girls that are like, I'm a DJ, I don't know what I'm doing. Fuck off. Learn the craft. Like, get a teacher, get a mentor, ask someone to help you, and like go out there and do this. Cause I'm tired of this like bullshit. I'm a DJ, but I'm not a DJ. Learn the craft. If you want to learn any craft in like anything you want to be a master at, ask someone who's better than you, who's a master, and ask how you can help them and learn from them.
100%.
And echo that for everyone. Male, female, however you identify, because man, it's fucking bad out here right now. There's a shortage of good DJs. People are getting shots that they definitely don't deserve, and wild shit's happening where the bedroom DJing is not happening. That step is being skipped. People don't practice X, Y, and Z.
You have to be a bedroom DJ to get out. And
It's part of the trip.
There are people I've mentored, which I love them and they're incredible, but they didn't necessarily have the period in between of like really practicing at home a lot before you go out, and they're already getting gigs, and it's cool. I'm proud of them, but like, you know, really, really hone in on your craft. And like do you know what I had to do in order to DJ out and get respect? Like it was a lot of work. So all my young bucks out there that like don't know the grind, you know,
tell them, let them know.
You need a screenplay. I
don't know if you're ever going to learn it, but
yeah,
that's real shit. Like
do some shit.
At the very least, appreciate the fact that you don't have to cut your teeth the way a lot of DJs have.
Right.
And
1,000,000%.
fucking practice and want to be better. That's all. And
quit listening to what people tell you is dope. Develop your own fucking style.
Yeah.
Right.
That's being skipped too, because people are just playing the same 25 songs and thinking it's a shit, and then they stop there. So.
And be humble. Be humble too. Because
always be humble.
Cats come out here and they hear one person say, "Yo, you're a dope DJ," and it's plastered all over their Instagram. Yo, chill out.
Yeah.
Chill it out. Be humble with this.
And just and literally like show and prove. Just like if you are dope and you think you're dope, speak with your music.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Make a mixtape.
Well, I feel like that's why young people that are coming up that actually are doing the work, that's partly why they stand out so much now, you know. But it does give me hope for the future when I see like certain young people that are coming up now really standing out,
being like incredible fucking DJs.
Yes.
Because I will say in this era, and this goes with a lot of crafts, they get better, faster, younger. Like some of like the twins, the little sisters, the girls. Better than some DJs that I've known have been DJs.
Insane.
Yeah,
fucking
but
insane.
they also, when you're little, you're like definitely practicing.
You're a sponge, and now you have all the tools to learn all these things, like YouTube and the internet is just, you can reach out to incredible DJs, and they're most DJs I know are willing to fucking lend a hand and a tip. So like, it's just, it's the tools are all there. You just have to fucking do it. You have to practice. You have to really be down to put in the work.
Crazy. I want to touch real quick on that era. You mentioned AM. This is from AM's house, this Daft Punk poster. This was when Kevin Scott did the sale to push the documentary. I picked this up, and I want to talk to you guys as people that were in it during this fucking time. What was it like to be in the Bloghouse era DJing in Los Angeles?
Go first.
Well, I'll tell you one
your
thing.
Story of AM too.
Yeah, because like basically I became friends with AM when he started coming up to San Francisco to DJ. I opened for him like one of the first times he came up, and he was just like, "Okay, I want you to open for me when I come to San Francisco." And it was funny too, because it was like sort of fortuitous to where I'm at now, with never having gotten rid of my records and having leaned so much back into my record collection. The night I met AM, he had just gotten on Serato, and I was still on vinyl. And it was so early in the Serato days that the sound guy had put the RCA cords backwards, and you know how on the decks it plays backwards. It took them like an extra hour of me DJing to figure that out. But the silver lining for me was I was like kind of showing out. Well, for starters, it was at Ruby Sky in San Francisco, like 1,500 person venue, packed.
Amazing.
But AM's like, I'm meeting AM for the first time, and they're like, he's looking at he's talking to the sound guy and he's looking at the computer, but every couple seconds he's kind of looking up at me because I'm like doing some routines, and I was doing a lot of live blends. It was kind of like the influenced by the Hollertronics era, still on vinyl, like very like forward thinking, but a lot of live blends, a lot of like halftime blends, playing like a dance music record and blending it with a southern rap joint, that kind of thing. So I was really like on a mission, and we hit it off and we became friends. So I would open for him every time he came to San Francisco, and that developed into him basically being like, bro, you got to come down to LA. Like, this is where it's at. And when I think back on this time too, it was like, on that time, it was definitely the last point in my life where I think I would have been able to just like pack all my belongings into a U-Haul and just go, So I came down, I had no idea what I was doing. And I had been in LA. I had also kind of just gotten like, just like when I had come down here on a couple trips, like the energy was just different. Cause like San Francisco, God bless its heart, I love San Francisco forever. But the nightlife scene, even back then was like kind of on the decline from the scene that grew up really, influencing me. Sure. There's the heralded scene of the 90s with all turntablists, crate digging, all this amazing stuff going on. But by the mid 2000s, you already have a bit of a decline, arguably. Yeah. Still have really dope DJs, but the scene itself was becoming a little more kind of watered down. This like that second wave of tech influence was already starting to come into San Francisco, and I think we all know what happens now, like where it's like this tech takeover, like culture changes, and
digital.
Like, so well, yeah. But just like what was once a vibrant scene had changed. Anyways,
yeah,
I had come down here on a couple trips, just like starting to make more frequent trips down here, and it was just like it was nuts. Like it was a whole different energy that I wasn't used to at all. Like I was just like walking into like Cinespace Tuesday and like Banana Split for the first times, and I was like, now you also got to keep in mind, for me it was like kind of extra nuts because I was like a skateboarding 40s and blunts like hip hop kid. I was never a raver. Like right. I used to play like if I got up to like a 2 Live Crew record in a set, I'd be like, this is so fast. I was like, nothing in the world is this fast. Or like, I thought like Kano, I'm Ready was like the fastest song ever. So you like, keeping these two things in mind, like no raver background, little to no dance music
just
knowledge.
Boom bap.
Like a walking encyclopedia of hip hop and samples, but like little to no dance music that wasn't really in the repertoire yet. Yeah. So I'm walking into these rooms.
Here, nerd, want to try drugs?
Yeah, you're fucking nerd. Your Jimmy Castor sample.
There you go. So literally, I'm just like this like San Francisco like skater kid, and I'm walking into like Cinespace Tuesday, and it's just like Cobra Snake, like like girls everywhere, like
oh my
just
God.
Insanity, and like all the music is just like wah, 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 and I'm just like, what is this? So
if anyone doesn't know what Cinespace Tuesdays was, that's Steve Aoki's Dimmock party.
Yeah, so that was it right there.
Imagine the music.
So that was it right there, because the AM connection, like I knew about Banana Split Sundays, but then my friend Vin Soul in San Francisco, he and I had taken a trip down here, just driven down from San Francisco specifically to go to Cinespace Tuesdays, because he was like, well, that's the other one we got to check out. And yeah, I mean, it was just like traveling to another planet in every possible way. I mean, you know, like in addition to me just being like just kind of a square, like,
Yeah.
and then so basically, I became friends with DJ Spider. Like AM and I were cool, but we weren't to the point yet of me being like, yo, let me raid your computer, you know what I mean? Or like, let me get some of this music. So Spider and I became friends, and basically Spider laced me with like the starter kit and of all this like fast music, you know?
Run this shit, dog.
And
Let's try that.
so I had the Bloghouse like starter kit of like maybe 500 MP3s. I had only recently gotten on Serato. I mean, I went like 0 to 100 with like changes I was making in my DJ life, because I had been vinyl only at that point for close to a decade. And then all of a sudden overnight I was on Serato. I got the starter kit. And then I'm all about history. Like, I'm a total historian. I love to like do the research, do the knowledge. I love figuring out like where things like happen in history so I can kind of connect the dots.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I got to learn more about all this dance music, because I feel like I'm hearing multiple things at once with this. Like, I knew something was happening. I knew it was very like rock influenced. I knew that there was like a rock scene out of like New York that had kind of influenced it, whether it was like LCD Sound System or the Rapture. And then there was like the LA version. So I literally to this day, I still watch this documentary about once a year. The BBC History of House Music, Pump Up the Volume.
Pump up the volume.
The history of house music. That is like my Bible of like dance music. And the thing that's so brilliant about that documentary is that it put the names of the tracks on the screen. It gave you this whole like timeline, right? Of like the whole.
It gives you the genesis from like
yes. And so then
from New York to Chicago, and then
yes. And so like my knowledge just expanded, and I started connecting way more of the dots too, because I had gone from hip hop to jazz, funk, and soul, and some disco. And so that's why how I was able to bring it back around full circle, because I was like, oh, disco to house,
Makes
and
sense.
I started like recognizing the disco samples in a lot of like house stuff. And so I'm learning about all this stuff, and meanwhile hanging out at these nights, like, because as soon as I got down here, it was just like every week. Banana Split every Sunday, Cinespace every Tuesday. And I literally watched the how like AM and Aoki had, you know, only recently kind of become friends, but I just watched that whole development happen of those two scenes kind of like merging and exploding. And so I started kind of like piecing it together. Like, a lot of my ticket into a lot of that too, which I'm sure was the same for a lot of like hip hop heads, was Baltimore Club. Because I was like, okay, I can fuck with this. Like, I can fuck with, like, you know, I was like, these are like sped up break beats. I was never like a full on drum and bass person or anything like that. A little bit, but I could fuck with Be More, because, you know, I mean,
it's just a thick sample.
I feel like Be More was I feel like Be More really was like the link back then.
I feel that. I totally feel that.
You know?
Diplo, Philly made it more accessible too.
Yes.
And so like, it's funny to think back on now, mostly because everything was so incredibly sidechained and compressed, and it was like so aggressive. Some of that stuff has obviously aged a lot better than others.
Right?
Some of it, when you listen to it now, you're like, oh my God, it's like, it's gnarly. But I mean, basically, it was just like, we just like hit the ground running with all that stuff. And, you know, like, I'm still to this day a big advocate of like, you know, if you acquire a whole bunch, if somebody just gives you a whole bunch of music, like, do the knowledge, connect the dots, figure out where things, like, you know, like with the timeline on when things came out and who influenced who, and always be doing that, because I feel like it really helps you, you know, ultimately program your sets better. But back then it was not only, it was chaos. It was just like sidechain compressed chaos. And then throw in on top of all that, the fact that AM didn't give a shit about like playing dance music in any sort of traditional like way. You know what I mean? Like, he was going crazy. He's like scratching nonstop. And so there was this whole generation of DJs that idolized AM.
Yes.
And we're watching his every move, and then
What are we doing?
we would go play dance music sets and be like, you know, like just going crazy. So it wasn't until later when I started, you know, like meeting people like Stretch Armstrong, Ellie Escobar, and kind of seeing more of those kind of guys play at Banana Split. And then I slowly but surely like developed, you know, what I considered nowadays to be a much more well-rounded style, you know. And when I get into playing certain kinds of dance music sets, you know, keeping it like arguably more tasteful, I'll still like randomly kind of cut something up for no reason and probably piss off whatever house head is in the room. But you know, that's like I still have that AM thing, that influence. But you know, yeah, like from that, along with like traveling to Chicago and New York a lot more, and like going to parties like Tiki Disco and things like that, and just like playing parties like that, getting thrown into the fire, like, okay, your turn, go. And I'm just like, oh my God, I hope I don't blow it, you know? I feel like I ultimately learned so much more about the whole like spectrum of it all. And I mean, as much of a special place in my heart, that whole era exists like in my heart. Really, I feel equally, if not more, thankful for some of the opportunities I had in New York, because I feel like there's so much more of a history there with disco and dance music. So yeah, I mean, I look back on DJing in both of those locations with an equal amount of fondness. I think the LA scene was just like the bottom line was just like the energy was insane. I think there was a lot of people that were kind of like clueless with regards to like how this music all fit together, but it kind of just didn't matter. Like it was literally, not only was the music like mashed up, it was like the scene was really mashed up, you know? Yeah. Like it was just like so many different influences and like cross-pollination and like all happening at once. And me just being the historian that I am, it then took me years basically to kind of like recover from like the mashup, you know, and put the pieces together and kind of figure out where things fit, because I literally like arrived in LA with Serato, was given a starter kit, and then immediately I was on Dexstar, and I started getting put in all these rooms all over the country, like go here, go there, like do it, blah, blah, blah. And I was totally flying by the seat of my pants. I was just figuring it out as I went, and then, you know, every Sunday those first couple years that when I came down here, without fail, we all would just hang out at LAX and we would just watch AM and just like soak it up. We would soak up the insanity of that whole scene, you know?
Yeah. It's funny because last week we had Stone. Stone was the guest on the show.
Oh, nice.
And it was funny hearing him unpack everything and then hearing your take coming from over the top and being like, what the fuck is this music? Okay, I'm playing the music. I don't really know. Here it is. But it was the last era, I think it's safe to say it was the last era of being able to kind of not be influenced by playlists on Spotify, not be influenced by
you had to go out. You had to go out. We used to go out and listen to DJs, and you'd be like, what are people playing in the club right now? I don't have this like other influence other than like what's everyone playing around me. Oh, I'm gonna check out what Stone Rock's playing right now. I'm gonna check out what AM's playing right now. I'm gonna see what Morse Code's playing right now, and Spider and whatever. And we'd go see all the homies as much as you could on your off nights, but like then you'd incorporate things that you heard in your own way. Or AM was always setting the trend, so you're like, AM's dropping like Sweet Child of Mine in the middle of like a 12 a.m. set at like Banana Split or whatever. You're like, why do I love this?
But he had that version. He had that version that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But
He
played the original too. He would drop like Journey. He was the one that did. He's the one that brought like Smells Like Teen Spirit.
I was gonna say like, you know, part of the magic of that party too, with what regards to what we're saying about you had to be there to kind of soak it up, is that it was this like thing where at that point he was, you know, he had his Vegas residency, and
I was gonna bring that up.
And he was playing, you know, more commercially driven rooms all over the place. And that's kind of why, you know, Banana Split even needed to happen to begin with, because
it's for the culture.
He was like, oh, I need this outlet to do this other thing and kind of still have that DJ magic experience of like playing cutty shit. And then there was basically like a revolution happening because of like all these French guys and like Ed Banger, you know what I mean? And like, and basically what was happening with like LCD and the Rapture in New York, and then what was happening in Europe, more like mostly in France, in Paris.
Yeah.
With the basic like trickle down influence from Daft Punk, but then to like Ed Banger, and then the explosion at that time of like Justice. And like some of the only times I can remember seeing AM like shook like around anyone, because he was just always like so like calm, cool, and collected. And of course, like even like his voice, you know, he had like the signature like baritone voice, and he was like so chill. But some of the only times I've ever seen him sort of not only be like low key shook, but like out cooled, was when anytime French guys were playing at Banana Split, because when Mehdi was in town, R.I.P. or like Brodinski, Sebastian was one. I remember Sebastian, he's wearing this like leather jacket and he's just chain smoking cigarettes. Like
they were the coolest.
In LAX. And I remember just AM's like body language around Sebastian, or kind of the way, like he would literally be like, hey, like, can I?
No way.
Like basically like in his own home, you know, like, hey,
like gets like bashful.
And then speaking to what I was like saying a minute ago about how AM's style of playing dance music was so like fucked up, especially to dance heads.
Yeah.
I remember watching sort of a pack of like Ed Banger like dudes, like it was like Sebastian, Somi, a bunch of them were in town, and they were playing, and like they had this like they're this chain smoking style, and they would use the what's it called, that one effect that one effect on the Pioneer,
on
like,
the 900, the noise or whatever.
Yeah, but they would use the shit like the slip mode style. I forget the name of it.
Oh, like the slip roll or whatever.
Oh
yeah, they would go they would go crazy with the slip roll. But I mean, never in a million years would you ever see any of those guys like scratching. Nothing resembling that. And they wanted to play on CDJs. And I remember one time AM being kind of bashful, and then he got on and he started doing his AM thing. And I remember Sebastian and these guys kind of like being like, what is this shit? They were kind of like hated. Like, they were, you know, stoked to be there, and they knew that AM was like the guy. Yeah. And they were down with Aoki. But I think that they kind of like were kind of fucking with Aoki a little bit more, because Aoki was a little more akin to what they were doing at the time.
Yeah, I can see that.
But AM, they were just like, what is this? This guy is
fucking Americans.
Well, yeah, because AM was like at the root of it, like a turntablist hip hop guy, like his style.
Yes.
And like you said, he's like not playing house music how you should be playing house music.
No.
Yes.
And
he was like cutting up
how you should be doing it,
and just dropping like songs that weren't dance songs in the middle of his sets.
No, and it was like I had the most incredible night of my life at 1 a.m. LAX set, where my friend Heidi and I were like, just like, let's go get a drink, and then we're like, wait, he's playing like Cars That Go Boom and like shit like that, but then he's like playing rock, and then he's playing a fucking Daft Punk song and whatever, and you're just I can't stop moving. Why is this the best thing ever? And it was like, this is so good. I love it.
I just started laughing because I was thinking about how that starter kit that Spider gave me, like for as many Bloghouse tracks as there were in there were also like a handful of like, you know, dance classics like Chicago and New York classics. Sure. And I remember thinking back then, like, why are so many of these songs like 8 minutes long? Like, where does this work? And so that intrigued me, and that's also partly why when I finally was able to witness like somebody like, I don't know, like Danny Krivit playing like, you know, an extended 5-hour-long disco set or whatever, I was like, oh, like there's these multiple breakdowns, and these guys are letting this stuff breathe, you know, and
You
like
gotta get that
and,
32 beat blend, man. Or that 32 bar blend.
and then like, you know what I'm
That shit
saying?
ain't gonna make itself.
Ultimately, that's what motivated me to find this nice balance and become, you know, more well-rounded. I was like, if I try to keep up with this AM guy, like I'm gonna die like from like a heart attack.
Dude,
That's so sick.
There can only be one, man.
On the contrary to Morse Code's experience, I was getting a different side of AM because since AM and Edsky worked together, Edsky was like the DJ that would like carry his crates. Like that was his role at the beginning. So he's like watching AM, he's learning every move, he's listening to what he's doing, he's learning about crowd control. AM's setting him up with his starter kit. So when he was playing clubs, he was doing the like hip hop side, hip hop and R&B and pop stuff. So then Edsky gives me a starter kit when I first started, and he forced me to get Serato. He gave me like every classic party rocker like record with an intro, every crate saver, like a whole bunch of stuff. And he's like, here, you need these. And I still have those and I play them. I'm pretty sure they came from AM's collection. So that's pretty cool that we got different starter kits. I was not playing the music that Morse Code was playing because I was playing hip hop rooms and like, you know, Ladue and My House and all these social clubs and whatever. And like, so I was playing more hip hop rooms, but at that time, electro and electro house and all that blog house stuff came out. So I would definitely throw in my favorite Be More tracks, and like, you know, LMFAO was popping at that time. So like Red Foo was hanging out with us. And then I used to do Teddy's on Monday, which was inside of the Roosevelt Hotel. So we would have like random DJs and hip hop DJs. And then Edsky was there and Samantha Ronson, and then Lindsay Lohan would come. And then, you know, like he had, I think Fred Matters, he was booking that night, and he had Hubert come one time, and like everyone was blown away because they had no idea what he was doing, and they also didn't care because they're like, what is this? I want to hear the Drake song. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so they like, you know, there was like an MC that got on and was trying to make things funny and relatable. And then they're like, show them the party rock and scratch and show them this. And then like people got excited, but like my experience was different. And then we would go see we'd go see AM at whatever club he was playing, like MI6 or something, and on Santa Monica and West Hollywood. And he was like playing, you know, a headlining set there, and Edsky and I would come together and watch him, and
he would go back into his kind of like mainstream, like
he had
like
to
club room.
So there was a compromise. He
there
did compromise.
was, but I saw both and I loved both.
Yeah.
But my influence was more his hip hop club side. And then like I saw him play with like 2 Live Crew one time, which that's hilarious that you're saying that's the fastest song. like Luke.
2 Live Crew was Goldie to Morse Code.
And you know, I was experiencing like a different side, so it was really cool to see. But then, you know, I'm at the clubs popping bottles with people and watching what everyone's doing and listening to DJs and checking out DJs like him and stuff. And then I'm also going to LAX, and I'm also going to Democ Tuesdays and everything. And I just had like a crazy, like rounded out experience. And I also wasn't as close with AM, but Edsky was. So I would be like 1 degree away from him. And he was always nice to me and would say hi and stuff, but I didn't have like a super close relationship with him. And then my friend was dating, let's go back to the stripper story. She was dating the owner of the club that he had a residency at in Caesar's Palace, the one that him and Travis.
Pure.
Thank you. So we were going in and popping crazy bottles because we were like coming in with the owner, watching AM and Travis play sets. And then I actually like dated Lil Chris. He was the first person I met. R.I.P. Lil Chris. He taught me so much, and also like, you know, bougie lifestyle in LA because I moved out here, didn't really know anyone. He's like go to Mr. Chow's. That's like the best restaurant. And I go with my friends, and our bill was like $1,000 because they don't have like prices on the menu. And I'm like, oh God, I gotta pay for dinner. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. So it was hilarious. We're getting trickle down hangout advice from Travis Barker's personal assistant, which is hilarious because Travis and Shayna were painting the town red, doing whatever they wanted. He also taught me about the dime. He was like, the dime's the shit, go to the dime. And that's how I went there the first time. Like, love this place. So RIP little Chris. But the one time we were at Pure, we were like, Carrie, my friend Carrie and I had like presidential suites. We each had our own presidential suite.
Shit.
He's like, call you later, see you later. And we were by ourselves. It was amazing. And then I saw Chris and Travis afterwards. I think AM left. And so Chris was like, where are you guys going? I'm like, oh, we're going back to the room. He's like, oh, where's your room? And I'm like, oh, we have presidential suites on this side. He's like, how the fuck did you get a presidential suite? Me and Travis have shitty ass suites. And I was like,
holy
sucks to be you. Like,
we're sharing a room.
So they came to our room and like we ordered bottles on the owner's tab.
So sick.
I pretended I was his wife. It was great.
That's so
like,
sick.
thank you, Mrs. whatever her name was. It was hilarious.
Fun.
So yeah, that like I had a different experience of AM and nightclubs, but it trickled down to every single person that was a DJ here at that time, and we all have our own AM stories. And he's all like, he was one of our favorite DJs. He like set the table for so many DJs to just be super creative and like mix so many genres together and really developed like open format. And then I also strongly remember there was like a little club that I played at where he was like the center, you know, like in a center DJ booth where he was super accessible. So I feel like he made DJs accessible to an audience. And when I was DJing in New York, I was in a little box in a room in the back behind a kitchen, like you didn't see me. Right. So, you know, it was a different I
don't hate that, by the way. Can I just say that? I would like to be back in the box.
That's what we were just
I would prefer to be there now.
Yeah.
I think we just talked about that with either Stone or Spider.
I don't like being accessible anymore. I don't want people to ask questions.
I don't want them looking at me.
No, just like,
what is this? What is that? Yeah.
Yeah. So amazing.
Fucking incredible.
Woodstock,
like
dude.
Yeah. When someone comes up and goes, what's up next? What do we got going on next?
God.
What's up next? Yeah. That's I don't like being that accessible. I don't want to be eye level.
Yeah.
My favorite is, can you teach me to DJ?
I like the Eagles Nest ones where you're like on a ladder up really high and it's like really sketchy to get up there and you're not sure how you're gonna get down. Those are
yeah, but that can suck though too, because like you don't want to be too disconnected.
No, but I think they're fun.
I like an ACL coming down.
Yeah, totally fuck up your night. We have a couple standard questions that I want to sneak in. I'm sorry we've kept you guys for so long.
Super fun.
We're having fun.
Don't worry.
We have to sneak in a couple questions that we always include. You guys need to do a drink break real quick?
No.
Oh, okay.
We're good.
Okay. Neek, ask away.
So I'm going to set you guys up with a super great endorsement deal. You guys get to be endorsed by any fast food establishment of your choosing.
He's laughing because he knows my answer.
And so this is individual. This is both of you.
Relationship goals.
Right? Answer for each other. Where you guys can set up, you get to pick a restaurant and your meal. So what is the Morse code and what is the Ivy meal and where are they?
Well, I know what hers is.
Go for it. Tell them.
Hers is a crunch wrap at Taco Bell.
Okay.
with beans instead of meat.
Yeah, that's my special.
I was gonna say we need to know the specifics.
I can't tell you guys how many late nights there's been where I'm sitting shotgun. She's driving because I'm faded and she's able to drive. But there's a mandatory stop at Taco Bell, and all I'm hearing as I'm sitting shotgun is with beans instead of meat. And
what are we drinking?
And a chalupa with beans instead of meat, and taco supreme with beans instead of meat. Anyways,
My secret favorite drink is Mountain Dew, but I don't ever really drink it.
Like the Baja Blast?
No,
Or
classic.
just Mountain Dew?
Classic
Okay.
out of a
OG.
can, but
For
if we
me-
get Fountain, that's fine. But I literally drink it like once every 2 years.
A Taco Bell meal where they give you a can of Mountain Dew. I like that.
I know, but it's a fountain. It's a
can?
fountain Mountain Dew. I'll stop at the 7-Eleven and get a can.
We just give you a can of beans and a can of Mountain Dew and tell you, make it that way. Get out of
You
here.
make it.
Bathrooms that way.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
You can
So,
make it in there.
You
You're
can eat it in there as well.
It's like the Ivy After Dark Crunchwrap Supreme Special. That is my,
Ooh.
and it comes with a Mountain Dew and a cinnamon twist and a cheesy gordita crunch with beans instead of meat. That's my meal.
Hell yeah.
And they put Morse code in your passenger seat until you
And
get this man home.
it's only
Get it
available.
home.
It's only available after midnight.
Hell
I
yeah.
like that. I like that.
Yes.
Morse, what are we
Morse
doing?
code.
she's literally the kid from that meme or that video that's been floating around.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know
the
if you
kid
guys
that's
seen
like,
You want Taco Bell?
Taco Bell? I saw that. Can I tell you that like 7 people DM'd me that?
Oh, man.
Taco Bell. And then once I shared it with people and I started telling people, I'm like, you guys, I kind of am obsessed with Taco Bell. And like now that's what my DMs are filled with all the time. Or when I'm DJing and I take a video and then I post it, someone is like, Taco Bell afterwards? Like, you get it? And I'm like, this is how you know
All right,
everyone knows
so
what's up.
since I
Shout out to our friend Angel Perino.
Want me to
She's
answer for
another-
Angel.
Yeah.
shout out to what?
our friend
Angel's
Angel
big Taco Bell.
Perino. She's also a Taco Bell
Yeah,
fanatic.
she's a
Oh,
Taco
okay.
Bell queen too.
so since I answered for you,
I wish I was sponsored by
so since I
Taco Bell if you're listening.
so since I answered for you,
Yeah,
Yeah, you
got
have to
an
make
idea
his
for
meal.
you.
okay, you go ahead. You answer for me.
I don't know which it could be any fast food establishment.
Any fast food establishment,
we
but it
go,
has
like-
to be a fast food
Can
establishment.
we go like Shake Shack?
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
I'm saying
I would say In-N-Out probably.
I was gonna pick your chicken sandwich.
Well, I guess by the time we started dating, I was
Switched you.
I was somewhat out of my double phase.
Oh, so you see, I don't even know because I don't eat red meat, so he doesn't eat
when
it. as
I
much.
lived in the valley for like 8 months. That was a strange dark
I was
time.
gonna say that you're not a Chick-fil-A because we don't like Chick-fil-A. Shake Shack like spicy chicken sandwich.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, we could.
That's what I would say he would be because he's a little
For-
spicy.
For a while,
A
I
little
was
spicy.
for a while. Like when I moved to LA, I was just like, so wait, I can have In-N-Out like whenever I want.
It's just there.
All about that life.
I think it would be cool then if he had what would your specialty be if it's a double? What's different?
Yeah, it's got
It's gotta be like
it's
Animal
got your name on it.
style.
What is it?
Animal style.
what's
I
the
guess.
whole meal?
Oh, like the meal, like
The whole thing with
double
the drink too.
animal style with fries and a Coke.
Cool.
I'm so boring.
I mean, the animal style is kind of secret.
Animal
menu.
style because it's
Yeah.
secret menu.
Yeah.
So
People don't know. Like, if you're not from the West Coast, you don't know that. You don't know you
Yeah.
just
Okay,
do that.
so then his meal is on the secret menu.
I like that.
The whole, just you say the Morse
You
code
gotta
meal,
say the Morse code meal.
Oh, okay.
and that's all you
All the
say.
secret
Available all the
menu.
time, but it's only on the secret menu. It's
I
not on
dip
the
my
list.
fries in the barbecue sauce.
I
You open up the bag and there's a cassette with a blend of Desmond
Optimus
Decker
Prime.
and Tribe Called Quest. Just one song.
oh
And
yeah,
mine
it's
comes-
just the one.
my
button.
meal comes with a pack of drugs and
Yeah, comes
A
with a
flyer
couple.
for the
and a
raid.
lot
Couple
of
press
20
pills.
singles. You
What
can
the
only
hell is
buy it
this?
with singles and no, I'm
What
done.
is this
And a
Babysitters
burnt
Club
CD.
book doing in here? What the fuck?
and a friendship bracelet.
And a friendship bracelet.
Just a bag of
Bracelet.
shit.
Oh
Yeah,
my
wrist
God,
candy,
guys.
a bag of candy, all taped to a burnt CD.
He
Friends.
said a
We can
friendship
have a
bracelet
whole-
though.
We can have a whole separate San Francisco burrito discussion. So
Oh,
if
that's
you
The
ever-
whole meal actually doesn't come in like a paper bag. It comes in a small backpack this big. a happy
But
face.
yeah, if
Yeah.
you guys ever want to be put up on some San Francisco burrito games, just let me know. I guess.
Hell yeah.
What's the go-to spot? Tell us. What's the
Yeah.
go-to
Oh, yeah.
spot?
Okay, La Taqueria is the all-time best, and they have tacos, but they're kind of not really tacos. They're like jumbo tacos, like
Mm.
Mm.
fully loaded. There's nothing really There's nothing. There's like I always say, San Francisco is burrito town. LA is tacos. San Diego is breakfast burritos.
That's so great. I was just gonna ask you.
On that.
But
I was just gonna ask you.
La Taqueria, ironically enough, their best thing, if you ask me, is their tacos. They do have delicious burritos, but then you can't go wrong with El Farolito for burritos, and they're open late night. They're great.
Is that the place where I got yelled at?
And Cancun burritos.
Oh
yeah, no, you got yelled at.
I got wasted at Cancun. We DJ'd at a club.
Oh, at Bruno's.
Yeah,
down
Bruno's.
the street.
Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Bruno's.
And he was like collecting our money, and I had one too many, and I was like, I'm going to get a burrito, and he was like, can you wait for me? And I just took off.
She just walked down the street.
So I walked down the street and I got the burrito.
Down Mission Street in San Francisco.
I ordered a super chicken burrito, maybe one or two. And then when we sat down to eat it, I ripped open. I took off the foil.
That's what you're talking about.
Oh,
major
you
faux
can't
pas.
take off the foil.
This bitch. You sit down. Are you kidding me? She sits down and unwraps the whole thing.
Oh, just raw dog in the burrito.
We got in a fight about it, but I was wasted.
I mean,
was
it's like
super I was like.
He's like, what are you doing?
There are rules here. Like
He's like,
I'm born and raised.
And I was like,
I'm born and raised in the city of San Francisco. Like
Deconstructed.
Walking distance from all of these world famous places. I grew up on that stuff. I'm like, my dad taught me from the time I could eat a burrito. Like, this is how you do it. You
peel the top off.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah,
that is literally home of the greatest burritos in the world. And
I was gonna ask earlier.
She sits down and unwraps the whole thing. I was
like that thing's coming apart immediately.
Like it's a damn Christmas present.
Oh, it was a mess.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Falling.
Leave me alone.
Oh, yeah.
Leave me alone.
And I was like, there's no turning back from that. I was like, look at it. It's already falling apart.
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's not.
She just eating a folded tortilla.
Yeah, I'm fine.
It was hilarious, you guys. I mean, we made it out alive. I'll never forget that. Because I'm like, oh, is that the place where I ripped the foil off?
That's when you learned to eat a burrito.
A burrito crime. I should have been put in jail.
Like traumatized now. Never just raw dog a burrito ever.
Yeah.
No.
Get this foil out of here. What the hell?
Yeah. Now I put foil on all my burritos.
Yeah, that's definitely a drunk move. Like, what is this foil even doing here?
This foil, you're just giving it to me.
Yeah.
You don't need to. I didn't ask for it to go. I'm eating it here.
Yeah,
little did she know how integral it is. I mean,
it will literally just fall apart. It
keeps it intact, and then
it was silly.
It's more of a utensil than anything.
Yeah.
The San Francisco burrito in particular. From these places, you get to the bottom of the burrito, and all the juice is soaked in the bottom. Now it's a drink.
It's a soup.
Now the burrito has formed the foil into a cup.
Those last few bites. Oh,
hell yeah.
Yeah. So now you know a lot about
it. Would be like what she did reminds me of if you went to Philly and ordered a cheesesteak, but you were like, no. I need the what's it called? I need the Atkins version, and you took all the meat and cheese out.
Yeah. They're like, yo,
started eating the meat and cheese with a fork and knife or something. You know?
My God. Yeah, that sounds like.
Tell me you're not from here without telling me you're not from here.
Right.
On the flip, it would be eating a tamale without taking the corn husk off, where you're just like, oh, great, and just bite into it.
You're like, idiot. That's funny. I love that.
Travis, pass it over to Travis.
Oh man! So along the lines of Ivy's great screenplay that she spoke out to us, we are developing our DJ biopic cinematic universe. So in this DJ biopic cinematic universe, who is playing Ivy? Who is playing Morse Code? It could be anybody in entertainment, dead or alive. It could be anybody animated too.
Or you could pick for each other.
I bet you can guess who I'm going to say.
Yeah, can you guess? Because I'll tell you who's going to play him.
I have two people in mind.
Go ahead, Nick.
Go, Nick.
Edward Norton.
Oh,
Oh,
Damn,
Oh,
that was
somebody
my
else- somebody
second
else-
pick. But yes,
He said I have
Oh, he
two
was-
in
oh, I
mind,
thought-
and
I thought
said,
he
go
meant
ahead,
me.
and then Matt
no,
said-
that was my second pick though. I had Tom
was
Was
Hanks
he
and
on
Edward
your
Norton.
list?
you said Tom Hanks?
I had Tom Hanks and Edward Norton.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
well, Edward,
Tom Hanks, I'll take it. Okay.
That's a
Nice.
good
Come
one.
on, man.
Edward Norton's playing it. He might have to stand on like phone books or something to be a little
Is-
taller.
Who's shorter? Is Edward Norton short?
Ed is short.
Oh yeah.
Shout out
Norton,
to the short
He's
kings.
massive.
Norton is shorter. I have tall DJ problems.
Oh,
shit.
Oh yeah. Neek knows what that's all about. Let's
Oh,
go,
yeah.
baby.
Let's go, Nick.
Come on. Shout out to the short kings, bro.
Short Kings in the building. Let's go.
I'm
Who's
sick of
playing-
it. Tall DJs are never coming back in style, baby.
That's a lie. We never
5'6".
left.
We never
We never
left.
left.
We never left.
Not
Wait, Calvin Harris is like 6'7". Can we talk about
in
that?
Yeah.
style, bro. He's 2022. He's gone.
Making
Shaq
bucks.
is DJing.
Louis Vega in the building.
Shaq is
Oh.
DJing.
Yeah.
I love
right.
it. I love it.
All right. Who's playing Ivy?
All the people that I've been told I look like aren't great actresses.
I would say
Ele-
Jessica Alba.
Oh,
Okay,
Spice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Jess.
I like it.
Amazing. I'll take it. Jessica
Okay.
Alba is playing me.
All right.
We
It's
have
settled.
no
Wait,
other
who were you
competition.
gonna say?
I was just saying the people that I've been told I look like are Sarah Jessica Parker, but she's getting a little older. But Ellie Goulding.
No,
Ellie
no,
Goulding?
She's not an
no.
actress.
No, so we'll swipe through
Nikki
that one.
Hilton. I get Nikki Hilton, but not the singer. The Paris
The
Hilton.
IG.
The
Oh.
oof.
And then
Yeah.
I get
You know what she look like now? Is she good?
I don't know. And then I get Jillian Barbarino.
Who?
Who's that?
Let's
I gotta
see.
do a number crunch on
Yeah,
this
she
one.
was a host. She was a crazy, she's like a Jenny McCarthy type chick that was like a wild, badass, raunchy kind of TV host.
Is she
Okay.
from the E-
Those
Is she
are
from the E
people I
channel?
get all the time.
I
Who,
think
do
she's
you
from-
guys have suggestions besides Jessica Alba?
Jessica Alba. That's it.
I'll go with
Uh,
Jessica Alba. Yeah,
Biel?
Jessica Alba.
Jessica Biel?
Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel. She's
Ah,
cool, too.
yeah, okay, I can see
Mhm.
that.
Ooh, okay. I like it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Move over,
One of the
Jake.
Jessicas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all the
Not
Jessica.
Sarah Jessica Parker though.
Not Sarah Jessica.
Oh,
Not-
okay.
No.
Back in the day.
I'm not
I
mad
got
at
it
that
maybe
one
because
either.
of the nose, but I don't feel like I don't feel like I look
Yeah,
like
you're pretty good.
Thanks.
Nah.
I mean, I was gonna say based upon the history and your story, I think 50 Cent should play you. But
Off
that's
rip.
just
Off rip.
off the rip.
I mean,
You know.
shit.
Honestly.
New York to LA. Let's go.
I was going based on the story. I was going to go Cardi.
Cardi. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Cardi.
think Cardi.
let's go.
Yeah.
Because I would watch that movie over Hustlers and that.
Oh,
Yeah, this
Did you watch
movie's
Hustlers
sick,
yet?
bro.
Is it good?
What's that?
Hustlers.
I mean,
Uh,
honestly, Cardi was the best part about the movie, though.
Clearly.
Nice.
Yeah.
We just watched Zola. Did you guys watch that?
Oh, Zola's sick.
Yeah. So that
Good.
Have you? I read
besides
the Twitter
cross-
thread back when that happened too.
I bought the book.
Okay, yeah.
So besides the prostitution part of the story, the visual and like the whole thing, it gives me
It's
a
a
vibe
crazy
of
movie.
like my book and like my whole deal.
I could see I can see the vibe. Yeah. That's kind of what I feel like your movie would
Oh.
look like.
Okay. I've seen some of
You
this
see that
movie,
one?
right? This one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
the movie's great. It's crazy. It's
Did you watch it,
nuts.
Travis?
Yeah, I've seen some of it.
Okay.
It's an A24. It's good.
It's
Back in
Yeah, it
A24,
is.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's $1.99 on Amazon Prime right
Shout out.
Worth it.
Shout out.
Yeah, I'll watch it tonight.
Or we can get on Plex, though.
I'm gonna watch Euphoria
Nice.
first,
Like
and
a
then I'll
vibe
watch
from
it.
That's what I was about to get to.
I'm gonna
Euphoria.
watch Euphoria and then I'll watch it.
Yo,
Euphoria
season
Euphoria is
two.
crazy.
Season
Euphoria is
2
crazy,
was-
but Doc Adams said some funny shit because he was like, Euphoria brings an interesting idea to the table at what if high school students were 27 years old?
now. Right?
I said the same thing the other night.
He
I was
said that.
like,
He's like,
I was laughing about how, it's the classic thing of actors that are just a little bit too old. But then because of the pandemic, there was that big
They
delay,
aged.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
season 2 would have aired 2 years ago at this point.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so on top of the fact that they already looked a little older, now you have
Like for real have aged.
So you guys all saw it. So
Yeah.
the whole thing with Fez.
Wait,
Like that-
before we get into it, everybody seen episode 1,
Colin.
season 2?
I haven't seen the
No,
new
no,
season
no.
yet.
I'm just saying.
Okay, gotcha.
The whole part of Fez's backstory
Yes.
also reminds me of my story.
Well,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, it's a
Yeah.
little darker. Like Zola, take out like, you know,
The hoeing.
a murder. No,
Yes.
don't take out the hoeing. I hoed out some chicks.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, hey, let's go.
Girl, I
This
was
fucking
Zola.
story rules.
I
Not
was
at all.
Zola a couple times.
I ain't see.
I
You need
was
the
not
screenplay.
I wasn't the blonde girl though.
Okay,
I was
okay. Yeah,
Zola.
that's the one on.
Like, girl, you're not charging enough. Here, give me money over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely hoed out.
Had to
any
make the
good-
back page.
Any good stripper has hoed out some girls before. So, and
She's got a
then
point.
No, I think I do need a drink.
You gotta-
You're like, yo, I'm learning shit right now. Hold on.
he goes to watch the movie with me, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize what this was about. Okay, let me get into my like, okay, I'm not gonna talk for a while. We're gonna talk
Right.
afterwards. And I was just like, okay, it's great.
So I
Like,
have to get some
definitely,
things
like-
off of my chest.
Yeah. So I feel like recently Zola and Euphoria's opening story, when you watch Fez's backstory,
Hmm.
you'll understand when you catch up and see that. And I'm not spoiling anything.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just,
no.
like, it's really gangster.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Colin,
wild.
that the first 15
You're gonna love it, bro.
minutes of
This
Euphoria
whole
is
episode is fire.
So,
But
so
my-
good.
now I'm kind of looking at
Remember?
Euphoria through a funny lens
Yeah.
because, like, my first high school was pretty wild, but like, and I'm always like, oh yeah, me and all my friends will be like, oh yeah, that was what it was like in high school. I was like, yeah, but there was a little bit more parental supervision. Like, we definitely didn't have a New Year's Eve party. Like,
Not
whose
like
fucking
that.
mom
I
was
mean,
gonna allow
When
us
I was
to just
that
take
age,
over the
though,
house?
When I was that age, I would have been at like a warehouse rave at 17
Right.
Right.
with like a bunch of older people.
Yeah.
So
It's for like shit like that to go down. I had to like sneak away and get
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
grounded afterwards.
Mhm.
It wasn't just happening every weekend. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Like, they're hella
But
adults.
yeah,
They're just doing
someone's
adult
getting in
ass
trouble
shit.
for that party. Someone's getting in trouble.
Somebody's getting grounded.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
Hey.
gotta watch it. I gotta
But-
Nobody
watch
gets grounded in the show.
But tell me, did you say the same thing that Rue said at the end after it all was done? Because I was like,
Yeah. Yo, I was. God damn.
Yeah.
oh, God.
You're gonna love it, Colin. It's
Oh
great.
yeah,
You're
you're
gonna
like,
love it. I guarantee.
I
You
guarantee it.
are.
Wait,
Oh.
real quick. Did you guys see Licorice Pizza? I know we
No,
talked
we're
about
going.
it
We have a
pre-show.
date night
Yeah.
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night we have a
Okay.
date.
Follow up,
up.
and let us know
Follow
what you guys think. As California residents, let us know what you think.
Yes.
We heard it's incredible, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty
Well, I
sure
love-
I'm already gonna love it.
I love Paul Thomas Anderson and I love Boogie Nights, so I was like, sign me up. You know.
Soundtrack wise, you're gonna be right in heaven. Let me tell you.
Nice.
It's fucking-
We're
it's
so
good.
excited. So yeah,
Nice.
we made an official date night for tomorrow night. I bought the tickets like a week ago, so we could
Oh,
be
yeah.
like, we're doing this.
Hell
Hey,
yeah.
speaking of soundtracks, I need a song from Morse and I need a song from Ivy. What song do we need to add to our 505 playlist on Spotify?
Any song ever.
Ooh.
So
Should
long
it-
as it's
should it
not
be-
Vanity
Should
or
be
Apollonia.
like something that you might not know about.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wait, any song ever that? Oh, but that like you have to be able to access on like a streaming platform.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let me check and see if this one is on. Because I just played it in a stream today.
Because we couldn't put Aaliyah on
Optimus
there for a little.
Prime.
Optimus Prime.
What is the name? Peter Cullen? Talking like Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime. We were I was lurking today in your stream
Oh, cool.
before the app, yeah.
What's your Twitch handle? Oh,
Nick Lopez.
Nick Lopez. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I won't call you out if you're lurking, but I'll look.
Yeah.
out for
I
you.
mean, if I
There he is in the
next to-
corner. Who's that
Like,
pervert?
oh,
You know
there
him,
he
you love
is.
him.
Oh,
You know, you love him.
I know what I'm gonna put in mine. I'm gonna put in a Showboy CJ freestyle by Nikki DeB.
Ooh.
How you spell that?
I gotta do some.
Nikki
some
the
research.
B.
Nikki DAB, and it's a Showboy, and then CJ, and then freestyle. It's a bounce classic, and once you hear it, you'll realize what everyone sampled.
You'll realize what you're missing in your life.
Love that.
Oh man.
Let me
See the problem with having like gotten so
let me see if I can find it on
back
Spotify.
into
Like
that
wax.
the problem with having gotten so back into that vinyl life and focusing so much on vinyl is that
Hold on.
it's like one of many reasons I prop it up so much is playing so much stuff that's like out of print, not on the streaming platforms,
All right.
et cetera,
Well,
et
if I
cetera.
can't find it, I'll give you a backup.
And I was gonna say
What?
James Mason, I Want Your Love.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is it not on there?
I that was one of the last songs I played today on my stream. But
I just got him that on wax for Christmas.
yeah, she got me that for Christmas. Thanks.
Dog, we've been talking about this record forever. Like Rhythm of
Forever.
Life.
No, but I was gonna say as a backup, Rhythm of Life, the album, and I would say, well, yeah, okay, I'm gonna say Sweet Power of Your Embrace, James Mason, Sweet Power.
That's the one. That's the one on there. Yeah.
Like I was almost gonna say Funny Girl as a backup for I Want Your Love, because those are two super dope like down tempo joints from him. But Sweet Power of Your Embrace is like the one. You're right. It's
But
like,
what's the one you were before that? The
I Want Your Love.
I want your
I
love.
want your love. And what's amazing about it is that it was an unreleased joint from him that was reissued or released for the first time ever in 2012.
Oh wow.
It was later. It was like because Rhythm of Life came out in 77, but then I Want Your Love is from like 81. And it's one whole side of that record. It's just like this 12-inch.
Damn.
And man,
I Want Your Love is not on there, is it?
Oh yeah. So as backup, I'm going with Sweet Power of Your Embrace.
Gotcha. Yep, got that.
Oh,
Okay.
hold on. Maybe my girl's song isn't on here. Hold on.
Neek's bugging out listening to
Neek
it.
is bugging out.
Yo, that's fire. Tell us getting like some Herbie shit. This is fire.
Which one?
I Want Your Love. This is
Oh,
fire.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, it's
dude.
the shit.
Oh, where do you see that?
On
Yeah.
YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
one
that
up on
shit
YouTube.
is tough.
That's up there for me. Just like one of my all-time favorite joints. And I have it.
Ooh.
I have the wax now. Thanks
Hell
to
yeah.
this wonderful lady.
I'm at let's see. I'm gonna add just because I could pick a million. We can't find mine it's not on Spotify, so let me give you a different one.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you
I love that both y'all's picks weren't there.
yeah.
Hit us with the cuts, man.
Hit us with the cuts.
I know we're like fuck.
See, I'm telling you, like you're coming in at a particular time in the journey.
Which one is
No, that's tight though. That's fresh.
as lifelong music heads, like
all right.
where we have been actively going after seeking as much stuff as possible that's like not readily available.
No, it's great. Okay, I got one. West Bank Red, all one word. You guys are like, what?
Of course.
Okay.
No, I'm stoked because of the
She's been
playlist.
New Orleans bounce obsessed for
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
years, and like when she plays some of these sets, I'm like,
I started,
Damn.
yes, West Bank Red. Go to the album Red Radio Volume 1. It's the second one on popular releases.
Yeah.
365.
I have to give you a track
All
if
right,
you
done.
don't have it.
Hey, the last song on the album too.
That's
Yeah,
legit.
it's a bounce cover of Anita Baker. 365.
Sick.
Ooh.
I don't think I've
Ooh.
heard that.
Okay,
Ivy,
now you're
I
speaking
have-
to me.
I
I
have
love
a
Anita
Nola.
Baker.
I have a Nola Bounce remix of Journey Wheel in the Sky. If you don't have it, I'll give it to you.
You need to give me that.
What?
Yeah, it's
I
very
need
rare.
that.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. Yeah, it's
So sick.
I can hear it. I can
Yeah.
hear it.
it's got an air raid siren in there. It's amazing. So
Can you
that
hear it,
guitar-
Travis? It's cool, right? It's like Cuddy. It's like, wait, what is this edit? What the fuck?
So I just had this song as just Anita Baker, New Orleans Bounce edit. So this is
Oh, that's the one.
Oh, you have
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
How funny. That's sick.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, that's great.
Now you know who did it.
Yes, exactly.
That's some Bloghouse era shit right there. Not knowing who did the track
That's
you
my
have.
favorite.
They
Yeah.
just named some other shit.
Oh,
I just
man.
knew Anita Baker was on it. So
That's my favorite. Yeah, you're like, what the fuck is this?
yeah.
I've never heard anyone else play it. I did like a deep dive recently and I found that and I was like, whoa.
That was a good find.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
We should include Neek and I were at Jewel last week in Vegas, and the DJ dropped Le Castlevania Zero, the Bloghouse Smashing Pumpkins remix of Zero.
Damn.
In
So sick.
the Bottle Service Club in the year of our Lord 2022, and it blew
In
the
the year of
fucking
our Lord.
bricks off. It blew the
We
bricks off
almost
the room.
fucking ripped the table out from the fucking
Yeah.
floor. It was so sick.
Did
Could not
everyone
believe it.
else respond similarly or were they like, what's happening?
No,
The,
it
the
went
dance
off.
floor went off.
It went off.
They never heard it, I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure this is like new music
There's
to
this-
them.
Speaking of Blockhouse, I actually mentioned it on my stream today because I just came across a Shalimar second time around 12-inch and Peep Thong by His Majesty Andre.
Yep.
This 1-bar loop on Shalimar second time around, and it's wild too because speaking of like insanely overcompressed, loud as hell, and like what they beefed up that loop like crazy, but it's one of those special loops where it's 1 bar of this song and nothing like that, the moment never like comes back again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's no there, it's just utterly bizarre. Like it's in this one little breakdown part of the song. That's
You
it.
gotta play that.
That's it.
Oh.
And they just took that and like made a Bloghouse classic out of that.
That's crazy.
So sick.
I mentioned it on my stream today and no one in the chat said anything. So I was like, all right, well, I guess
Because nobody gives a shit.
Guess
It's
I'll
like
just go fuck
Woodstock to
myself.
me, 2008, and I feel like other than like my friends, nobody gives a shit.
yeah.
I'm like, dude, it was the best, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
it
You're
was
like,
2000.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
I went on this post yesterday, just posting a bunch of shit. I was flying back from Vegas and I was listening to LaRue, In for the Kill, Scream
Yes.
remix. I was listening to Where's My Money from TC. I was listening
Oh, that's a
to
good one.
old AC Slater, like
Yeah.
Oh
Triple
yeah, that's
Bass
what you were
shit.
posting. Yeah.
And I'm like, I miss this shit so
Yeah.
much. But it's
I
coming
miss wearing
back.
H&M
It's
V-necks,
coming
man.
back. It is
It's coming
because I play a bungalow all the time and I cover DJ Excel and I cover Lady Shaw and we cover Grand Funk together, Grand Funky. And like they don't want current club music. They're totally down with like the Blogula era.
Hell
And
yeah.
I love that.
I called myself Count Blogula when I used to look on what was that one? Oh my God.
LimeWire, Kazaa.
Not LimeWire. What was the one? Hype Machine?
Yeah.
Oh
You guys
wow.
remember that?
Oh man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was a soul
I used
seat
to get
guy,
all
but
my
yeah.
shit on there, but like that shit's coming back.
But
And
yeah,
like there's this young, I don't know how they know about it.
well, I mean, it's it's been
Because the 90s and the 2000s are back, so they know about all
Yeah,
this
maybe
stuff.
that's what it is. The
Yeah.
2000s are kind of a thing again.
Yeah, and it's like, when the 80s became cool and we were a little older, you go back and learn about all that stuff. So I guess it makes sense.
I had to
Oh my
I had
god.
to get something.
Oh, no worries.
Everyone
There
should
it
read
is.
this. This just came out. Never Be Alone Again.
Okay.
This came out in November, featuring interviews from Acid Girls, A-Track, Bag Raiders, Bloody Beetroots, Cobra
Hold
Snake.
it up again.
I think you get on Amazon for like 18 bones. Mastercraft presets, Rapture. All of your guys' friends are in here, basically.
Nice.
And it talks about Hype Machine. It talks about Banana Split. It talks about all of that shit. Super short, quick bathroom read. You can enjoy
Yeah.
it.
That's like a couple
Yeah.
spots in the
Couple
bathroom.
sessions, you'll be good.
Yeah. Definitely recommend that though. And you're right, it is coming back. I think people are tired of the same humdrum bullshit.
Mhm.
Tired of 50 BPM rap, like super
Yeah.
slow. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I think people just want to dance again, especially
Yeah.
after these last 2 fucking years we've had.
Yeah.
People are grasping to that nostalgia. And I think
Nostalgia is everything right now. It's literally
huge.
all we have to go off of. We don't have any, we were talking about this before. We don't have any club experiences over the past year and a half where you're like, oh, that new Drake song came out and I remember how it made me feel. You're like, oh, I was in my house, like watching someone
doing
on
the
Twitch.
Tootsie Slide.
Like, there's no, the nostalgia is like, I don't want to hear this shit. I want to hear something that I remember.
Yeah, when we got really into streaming, I was always saying how we're like, you know, I mean, obviously digging into your record collection is a very, you know, straightforward way to
Oh, there it is.
That's only one
to
room.
literally, you know, dig up like physical memories. But on top of that, as far as just the inspiration for like, where is the vibe of the set gonna come from? Like, how are you gonna program the set? Those kind of things to me are like, you're like mining your own memories for inspiration to put that stuff together, you know?
Yeah.
And at a certain point, you know, like, yeah, that can be difficult. You know what I mean? When you're like just mining your own memories, like day in, day out, week in, week out. So I think we're all looking forward to getting back out there for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it's cool to be the storyteller. You know, you guys have taken this role, and unfortunately we went down this huge rabbit hole. I have so many fucking questions for you guys.
Part two?
Part two, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I want people to know about Home Time, though. Can you tell them where they can find you guys and a little bit more about that?
Yeah, for sure. That was the first weekly stream that I kind of like committed to when I first got into the streaming thing. At this point now, I'm doing
shit.
I'm doing 3 a week, but that was like the OG one. So that's kind of like the flagship show, and I started it on Sundays because when lockdown started in spring of 2020, like the first place that, speaking of like, you know, mining your own memories for inspiration,
well, that was
the first thing that where my mind went to was just like all the great experiences I had at some of my favorite Sunday parties, the Do-Over, Tiki Disco in New York. Like I've always been a sucker for that, like Sunday thing of like, even like what we're talking about with Banana Split, how like that was
Sunday.
That was a place where yes, where we would, you know, carve out this like other lane and play different stuff. Like I've always just been obsessed with that like thing, whatever that is. So when it came time to put together the concept for that, I started building this master playlist right away. And, you know, I'm still every Sunday, like I keep adding to that playlist. I think at this point it's up to about 3,000 songs, but I'm really critical of like what makes the cut, you know, it's got to fit the vibe. And I would say probably, yeah, like some of the biggest influences on that are the Do-Over, Tiki Disco, like soulful dance parties, you know? But, you know, there's a range going from like classic hip hop, like B-sides and shit, but like then up into, you know, like mid-tempo disco edits, climbing up into like house and things like that, dance music. But I would say the real link is like the Sunday day party inspiration, and then just like the groove, you know, like it's just got to be groovy, it's got to be soulful, it's got to like make the hairs on your arms stand up kind of thing, you know.
Or it draws nostalgia, like, just to interject, because I remember when you were making your playlist the first time, when he was first auditioning, and this was the beginning of like the COVID lockdown, and he's like, I want all the songs to like just make you feel good. Like there has to be a warm feeling that comes with it. So I remember like I was cleaning or doing something and he'd play something, and then it was like Talking Heads, This Must Be the Place or something. And we were like, ooh, like, oh yeah, that. Or like, you know, there's certain like house and disco songs, and there's certain rock songs, and there's certain like every genre is in there. It's crazy. He literally
Michael McDonald's Sweet Freedom is in there.
He auditioned so many songs that like there were certain ones I was like, oh, that's cool. And he's like, no, doesn't give me the warmth. Like it didn't make the cut. And then like, you know, warmer. But I remember him doing that. And then I was like, okay, he's like creating he's carving out his own lane for what he feels like home time is. Because we're all stuck at home, and it's a great name for a party.
When I sat down too, I was just like, I started making the playlist on iTunes, and I was just like, home time. Like I didn't even think
he was just like joking.
Yeah.
It's like, well, here we are.
And then
it just stuck.
And
So
then I did a few guest sets because he would like be DJing for so long on Twitch that he'd need like a bathroom food break. So he was like, all right, you can play, only play from the home time crate. Like I can't bring I tried to bring my own records, and one time he's like, you get to play from the home time crate. I don't care if you know it or not, just like go. And so it was really fun because I started looking at his playlist and I was like, ooh, this is a fun playlist. And then there's like anthems, like there are now songs that when I hear it, I'm like, that's a home time anthem. And I literally made my own crate, like on my iTunes, I think, that's like got that vibe. I don't know if I labeled it home time or not, but when I think of it, I'm like, oh,
stop
home time.
biting my shit.
He's like, right. You did what?
No. What? No, but like
What now?
I correlate certain songs now with that. So then sometimes I'll go into like a home time pocket of like, oh, this feels good. Like and he's even said it before. He's like, you just played a set that felt like your version of home time. And I was like, thanks.
That's tight though. Like that's cool.
I feel like he created like a crate.
Yeah, it's cool because it's kind of spilled over to like real life now too. Like Spinurita and I started a party called Odyssey. That's like, you know, very much inspired by what Home Time started out as. Just like the tagline for the party is a soulful dance party, you know,
right?
Like, it's like, you know, just drawing from all of those influences, drawing from all those great memories, and you know, it feels great to be able to like kind of just get the inspiration for that through this one thing, but then be able to manifest it in, you know, in the physical.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and home time would be kind of weird at the club, you know. So Odyssey works at the club.
Yeah.
Shout out to Spinurita. She was just out here. We just hung out.
Oh, nice.
She was out here with Arabian Prince.
Cool.
Shout out to Spinurita and shout out to Arabian Prince. That's the homie.
Yeah. He signed my JJ Fat record.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sick.
That's awesome.
Dope. And you guys you've built up a fan base of brand new followers too, new friends and new followers overnight that are just riding with the vision, which is the whole fucking goal of all of this, which doesn't really translate in the club usually. It's tough to be
but
like
it's something totally different. It's like we have our own club at home and we can make money on. It's crazy.
Yeah,
like,
I love that.
So on the nights he has a streaming schedule and does this more like consistently. I DJ IRL too much and I have my fashion business, and clearly, you know, I'm a hustler, so I'm out there doing stuff. I don't have that much time to stream.
We're still waiting to see who got murdered.
We're just waiting to see who
gotta wait for the fucking movie to come out, bro.
Yeah, I know.
So, but when I'm not DJing on Saturday nights, I commit my Saturday nights to my stream, and I just like go deep and I like pull records and I have fun, and I always have like a weird Wild West sort of late night stream that starts at 10 and it goes to like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like you never know what happens, or you know, if we're getting tipsy and having fun and like going into some weird pockets.
Like a big raid.
I get big raids after 2 a.m. Like random people will come in with like 500 people and like 600 people. And I'm like, oh, raids. Hi everyone. I was my last record and I'm drunk. And I've ordered Taco Bell on my stream before.
We tried to order pizza. We tried
oh my god!
We tried to order pizza and we got stood up.
Oh, I remember
on the stream. It was very embarrassing.
That's
Pizza Dude basically told us to go fuck ourselves
on the stream
on Twitch. Like while we had a huge, it was crazy.
Yeah, that was
embarrassing.
Incredible. Yeah,
that's cold.
Almost as bad as Santa Claus gloves. Almost. Fuck.
The purple Santa Claus gloves.
Yeah.
So we got our own set of followers from the pandemic. You have what, over 6K?
Yeah.
He got over 6K, and I'm getting close to 4,000.
That's so rad.
I'm like, we just streamed and we're like, hey, I'm here.
For me, it was like it really ended up kind of filling this void that, you know, I started out like the first mix that I ever made that like was picked up by something other than like a local shop in San Francisco. It's picked up by Turntable Lab back in 2006. It was called Fusion Batches, and it was a collection of, it was an all vinyl mix collection of like jazz, funk, you know, like even going back to the Optimus Prime days. But it it was me putting that, out into the world in a more broad fashion. And that part of me like never went away, but I didn't have as much of an outlet for that when I was like grinding out in the clubs, just like week in, week out, especially when I was doing a lot of traveling. I was just getting burnt out, and I wasn't like, there was this part of me that wasn't getting fulfilled. So I kind of just hit the ground running because, there's I love so many different kinds of music, and especially a lot of like chill down tempo stuff that I wanted this outlet to be able to share a lot more of that stuff. So to have a receptive audience,
okay,
not only a receptive audience for that stuff, but like music heads that like really know their shit. Like I'll be like showing, the sleeve of something and have people in the chat being like, oh yeah, like, I like the mono pressing of that better because
it
just
gets
like
really nerdy.
just crazy, like nerdy stuff where like, like that just didn't exist really for me outside of, circles of friends, just like hanging out and shooting the shit. And then in addition to that, I got like an NTS show like through that.
I was trying to tell the story of that.
Now Fusion Batches has been resurrected.
He's skipping over a bunch of like I can tell you Cliff's Notes details, but he got his first mix that was a jazz funk like fusion. It's called Fusion Batches. It's like a highly coveted mix that like only heads know about. And he has this crazy like fan following of people that are like, whoa, you're the dude that made Fusion Batches, or oh my god, I listened to your mix, I got it at Groove Merchant in what, 2006. Jazzy, he handed it to Jazzy Jeff, and Jazzy Jeff wrote him an email and was like, oh shit, yo, this is the best mix I've ever heard or something. And it came Jeff Towns, and he's like, who's this? And he looked it up, he's like, oh my god, like he
got his real name.
Like, even now, all these details, you have to understand. When I heard like jazz, I'm like, I don't like jazz, I'm not a jazz fan. I like jazz that came from sample-based hip-hop. I understand the connection, but there's certain jazz and jazz funk and fusion that I didn't understand until I've been locked in a house with him for many years now. And now I know all about jazz funk fusion, and you can ask me trivia that
she knows who Weather Report is.
Yeah, and I'm like,
hell yeah.
Like, our homie
Jacko Weather Report
Shima,
though.
Shout out Shotgun Shima. He's talking about Al Hurt the other day, and he's like, oh, there's a running joke that he, the last song, he only has one good song, and I'm like, why do I know this? Like, I know Al Hurt only has one
now.
song, and all jazz fusion, like.
Here's a press pill, you fucking nerd.
Yeah, somebody's gonna come to Ivy now and be like, you fucking nerds.
You nerd. So then I started realizing, dude, I really like this. Like, and when he tells me more about it, he's like, no, you don't know about this. Let me tell you about this. And then he tells me, and I'm like, and it started when we first started dating. And I know this isn't a jazz artist, this is a Brazilian artist, but Arthur Veracai. I was like, that's cool. Oh, I didn't recognize that. Oh, and then I bought him for a gift, like the Mr. Bongo reissue, because I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I started learning, and then we started going to Jazz is Dead. To the there's a show that
it's put on by Art Don't Sleep.
Yeah,
and it's Adrian Young and Ali Shaheed Muhammad.
Same.
And the summer of 2019, they did a series of they had started a thing called Jazz is Dead, and they had like,
and it's on Sunday.
They had like Roy Ayers and a number of people come through.
Azimuth.
I was getting that. They had American jazz artists first. Then they did a series of Brazilian, like important like Brazilian artists. They had Arthur Veracai, Azimuth, Marcos Valle, and João Donato, all like performing here in LA. We went to Arthur Veracai. We went to the Veracai show and the Marcos Valle show.
I cried like a baby.
I think Epic went to this as well, because I think
he went to Azimuth.
Yeah, he went to Azimuth. Yeah.
That one.
Like, yeah, I was bummed I missed that one, but it's wild because Epic and I we didn't know each other before Twitch, and then like meeting through Twitch, we're just like
twinsies.
We're so.
That's how I learned about you guys, through Epic on Twitch.
Okay,
amazing.
yeah, and like Bus Crates, like I was a fan of Bus Crates music, but we hadn't really met like that, and like now we're collaborating.
What a
Buzzcrates
trip.
and we already did a jazz funk fusion stream collab. We have another one in the works. He's gonna do a guest mix for my NTS show. Like,
Wait,
so
so
all this
then
stuff is just amazing.
so Fusion Batches 1 came out in 2006. Fusion Batches 2 came out in
2009.
2009. Then there was never a third. Like he didn't complete the
The
trifecta.
trilogy.
We need
So
the
during-
third.
Because I came to LA and then I was like running
And he
around
was
playing
at
block.
the
And you
blog
need to finish that
house.
trilogy.
You're a
hanging
banana
out with
split doing some
Sam.
other shit.
Exactly. So he got sidetracked.
I had to take
Take
a
us
little
back
journey.
to COVID at the beginning of lockdown. We're like, what do we have in our house? Let's play our records. He starts pulling out jazz records, jazz funk, jazz fusion. And then he's like, deep into streaming as we started, he was like, I think I'm going to do a Fusion Batches 3. And he worked on it, finished it, played like a live set, and then played 7 hours
Oh yeah, I did like a
of
7-hour
vinyl.
a 7-hour release party for Fusion Batches 3 on 420.
Sick.
Then he got his own, because a slot opened up and Spinurita told him about it, that they were looking for like a jazz funk show
Uh-huh.
or a fusion
on
style
NTS.
on NTS.
Yeah.
And she's like, I think you should like apply for this. And he did, and he has his own show now. And he literally has like come up with his own way to express his art by going through all the other things to get there. And now he's in his house.
Isn't it fucking nuts how Twitch has opened up this like completely different lane in DJing?
Yeah.
And it's allowed so many DJs to just get to like the root of the real fucking dorky,
Yeah.
deep cut shit that they like.
Yes.
And like, boom, now you're a fucking jazz funk, jazz fusion DJ full
with a
time,
show
bro.
on NTS.
Sick.
Unreal.
Or like I can play at 2 a.m. I can play my favorite Dance Mania, like DJ Funk records and, like DJ Assault and whatever, and get into like, I have like a crazy pocket of like ghetto tech, and I always play that on my streams if I get into the late night set. But like,
Mhm.
I didn't have a way to play that ever, or for anyone to care. And there'll be like 100 people and they're listening to me play ghetto tech or booty
So
house or
sick.
something. And I'm like,
So fucking sick.
why would I want to play at a club right now?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, why?
For
Right.
what?
For what? For money?
For
Don't
money.
care.
Well, yeah. That.
For cash.
I'm
Got it.
hustling over here.
Yeah.
Eating Taco Bell. I'm not selling drugs anymore, but
Yeah.
selling t-shirts. I got-
Dylan t-shirts.
I made the home time t-shirt. I made
Still.
the merch.
Hey, she's about to hoe us out, guys.
Shit. I'm trying to
Be
get on the
ready.
team, dog.
You guys
Yeah.
have probably gotten a good idea of how we kind of balance each other out. But
Oh yeah,
100%.
clearly.
He brings me down, and I.
Bring him up.
This is great because
Big
I've only known that. I've only known that up until now, and then I met you, and I'm like, oh, I get it now. Okay, I get
Yeah,
the
like
college.
I make
Yeah.
our graphics. I make the graphics
Yeah.
for the tees. I made us merch. I made us our own Shopify store. He sold 100 home time tees
That's so sick.
during
That's
the pandemic,
fucking
and I made a
dope.
t-shirt. I made a t-shirt with Foxy Brown on it, and
Sick.
so I'll show you that one.
yeah, I gotta give a huge shout out to Ivy for really kind of like lighting a fire.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
He-
And the
like,
sleeves say
her-
Foxy and Brown.
Her hustle and like entrepreneurial spirit is like unmatched,
As
Shit is
you
unbelievable.
fresh.
learn.
And she inspires me, and like she just like motivates me. So I'm super thankful for that. And
I love to see it. You guys have been fucking great. This is insane.
This is incredible.
Morse just
Yeah.
needed to get a girl from the streets, man.
Nothing, right?
Fix his life up. Fix your life
Right?
up right away.
major key.
Yeah, major,
Major
key.
key.
Major
real.
fucking key. This
He
is-
told me, he was like, I didn't realize like you were so like gangster, but like I think it's cool because we balance each other out. Like, you give me
Never
more
know what you're gonna get. Sometimes
Optimus
it's exciting.
Prime
Sometimes
called
I'm
you
just scared.
gangster?
I'm just scared, but it's fun.
I'm just scared.
But I'm a little scared.
Yeah.
No, only murders in the building. No
Yeah.
murder yet. I'll keep you posted.
Not yet.
Petrified, but having a fucking
Petrified, but
blast.
having a great time.
There
Yeah.
was almost, all I can say, if we go really deep, there was an OD in one of my apartments one time that had not nothing to do with me, but it was like a roommate and a situation going on, and she
Shit.
almost died.
There was
and I saved her life, and she yelled at me when she got up, and she was like, "What the fuck? Like, maybe I wanted to die," and I'm like,
Oh, fuck.
"Not in my house, bitch." So anyway,
here.
we
You
had an
gotta die
almost
outside.
death.
Yeah.
You gotta die outside in the world. You can't do that here.
Yeah.
And a hero story in the movie as well.
See, there you go. There's
Yeah.
a death, almost death, and hero.
Yes.
This is great.
Something for everyone.
I cannot fucking wait.
Yeah, I can't wait for that screenplay. Like, you need to sell that shit.
Yeah.
This is
like,
gonna be
immediately.
intense.
To our listeners listening, you had to stay through 3 hours to get to the real end of the hero story.
Exactly.
Oh,
Longest ep ever, but fuck, this is sick.
This is a
Yeah.
fucking sick episode. I said 6 to
Juiced.
7 hours joking around, but god damn it, we could fill up 2-3 episodes with
Oh,
you guys.
straight
I'm
up.
going to the club.
We
Hype
would
tonight.
love to come back. It's really
Super
fun
fun.
talking
We have to
to
do
you
this.
guys.
You guys are great.
This is like
Thank
you guys. It was a blast.
We love y'all for
We're gonna
real.
have to do this again. Let people know where they can find you on socials. Let them know where they can find you and what time on Twitch every
Yeah.
week.
Sweet.
Or in real life too.
Or in real life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't come find me. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm
kidding.
at
Wow.
DJ Morse Code on all platforms. At DJ MORSECODE. Pretty much everything, Instagram, SoundCloud, etc.
Mixcloud.
Twitch. Yeah. So, and then on Twitch, my 3 weeklies are Home Time every Sunday, 6 p.m. Code Chillin', all hip hop on wax, every Tuesday at noon.
Pacific.
And noon Pacific, and Morsels, all vinyl, every Wednesday at noon Pacific. Wednesdays is like a anything goes type of show, just as long as it's on vinyl. And those are my 3 mains. I have what?
NTS.
Yes, NTS. If you download the NTS app, which I highly recommend,
It's free.
there is a massive archive on there. They have like a bunch of people with really, really dope shows. But each show that I add monthly, it just gets added to that archive. So if you search for Fusion Batches, either on the NTS app or on nts.live, everything's archived like on any web browser too.
Or you can search DJ Morse Code.
Yeah, DJ Morse Code or Fusion Batches. And yeah, that's pretty much what's happening right now. Outside of that is like guest sets on Twitch, collaborations with people like DJ Epic, Bus Crates, and then IRL. I'm definitely a little bit pickier about some of the gigs I've been taking out there right now.
Sure.
But
yeah.
I'm at. Oh yeah,
Morse Code.
there's my page.
Hell yeah.
And I've been DJing still at the Dime once a month. Shout out to the Dime.
Shout out to the Dime.
Like Dime forever.
Yeah.
And then we have our party Odyssey, which I'm super excited about. Odyssey. It's at one of my favorite venues in the city, Gold Diggers Bar, which is like, it just has one of the best DJ booths I've seen in LA. It's super vinyl friendly. The vibe there, it actually reminds me of some of my favorite spots in New York. It has kind of a New York-y feel to it. Great dance floor, great sound system. We play mostly vinyl there, pretty much all vinyl. Me, Spinurita, and the Tropicat from Brazil. And we have Mike B as our guest on the 28th. So that's
We
all.
got to get Mike on here. Can you put in a good word for us?
Mike
Oh,
B.
yeah,
He's
of course.
got
Oh,
some
for sure,
stories.
for sure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Mike is a pro at being on podcasts.
Oh my God, his podcast lasts forever, and I never get sick
They're
of hearing
fantastic.
what he talks about.
He has like endless stories. He's
That guy's
Incredible.
great.
best. Yeah.
That guy's great.
So, and then where do I start? You can find me at the whatever club. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so starting with Instagram, I'm DJ Ivy on Instagram and Twitter, and then, but I don't really tweet that much. Sorry. And every once in a while it'll be like, Al B. Sure is following you, and I'm like, what?
Disregarded.
Like
Small
weird ass shit happens on Twitter. It's usually dudes. And I'm
We've
like,
been using Twitter a lot more. Neek
Right?
and I and Travis has been on Twitter a lot more.
I'm
too.
on Twitter.
It's fucking
you're
great.
definitely on Twitter when Instagram shuts down.
I'm
Yeah.
on Twitter
Oh
now.
yeah, big time. Big time.
And then like I don't really post on Facebook, but if you want to find me on Facebook, it's DJ Ivy LA. And then on Twitch, I'm DJ Ivy LA. There's somebody else named DJ Ivy. I will find you. I will cut you.
Yes.
There's the murder story.
There's the
There's a
murder.
murder story.
Found
It's
it.
coming. It's in the future.
I love it.
Whoever DJ Ivy is, give me your handle. No, I'm just kidding. DJ Ivy LA on Twitch. I pop up every once in a while on like raid trains and random things. But if you want to catch me this weekend, I'm playing the Shambra Fest, which is like a worldwide raid train that goes from tonight in 2 hours and it ends like Sunday night at like 9 p.m. And it's like DJs from all over the world, and most DJs play vinyl, and we just keep raiding into each other's streams, and it goes to like Brazil and Japan, and it's crazy.
Holy
So
shit.
I'm on Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific before home time. Then you can just come back for home time. And then next Saturday, I'll be streaming again because I don't have an IRL gig. So I'm usually on. If you just follow me and turn on your notifications if you're interested, it'll tell you when I pop up. But it's usually at 10 p.m. Pacific on a Saturday night, like vibe party. And I'll only play vinyl. And same thing as morsels. It's kind of like anything as long as it's on vinyl, but I declare when I'm playing ahead of time. So I'll be like funk, soul, and R&B tonight, or like, you know, house and disco and booty house and whatever I feel like playing. So it'll say. So if you don't like it, you don't have to stay. But you'll like it. And
You will like
And if you don't like it, you will get killed.
And then I play
casually killed. No big deal.
Someone will come to your house if you don't like it. Yes, I'm dying. I play at a fun like girl night, like a lesbian night, one Wednesday night a month at the chapel next door to the Abbey. And so I'm playing there. I'm like, wait. Yeah, I thought
Right now.
Not
Right now.
tonight. Is it? Like,
1 hour ago.
1 hour ago.
Okay.
Yesterday.
I got scared. I was like, I'm playing here on the 26th. I really just doubted myself for a second. Playing on Wednesday.
phone is just like, where are you?
Wednesday the 26th, because it's a Wednesday night. I just got scared for a second. Wednesday
Today
the
at 9.
26th, and then I play at a party also on Thursdays randomly when they book me called It's Classic, CLSQ, and that's with my shout out to Monty.
Shout out.
Come through. It's very like
Dope party.
it's like hip hop, but it's more LGBTQ friendly. So it's like more urban, but like down ass motherfuckers that are like choreographers, makeup artists, stylists, celebrities. Like Beyonce's makeup artist comes in all the time, but it's like you have like shout out to Sir John, but you have like you could play like an old like Shaka record, and you could play some Donna Summer, but then you can play whatever the hot 50 BPM Young Thug shit is, and like
Meg Thee Stallion.
and you can Met all we love.
Gotta hit the Meg.
There and Nicki Minaj and all the queens, but like you can throw down bounce shit and like go deep into some dance classics, and like we have Vogue moments, like some Voguers.
Oh yeah.
So it's just really fun. It's very like culturally affluent. It's
like
really
that.
fun. And then we can play like Aaliyah at your best. You could play that at any moment in the night. People would freak out. So that's a really fun party, and they do it every Thursday night. So I've been playing on Thursdays with either Monty at It's Classic or downtown at the Queensberry. My friend Legendary Damon plays a party, which is also an LGBTQ.
Damon gets some fits off. Can I just say Damon's the best dressed.
If you're not familiar with Legendary Damon, get familiar.
He's a legend.
He is fabulous.
He throws the most fabulous parties.
Damon be dressing.
He's like New York City, like New York City promoter that comes to, he lives in LA and goes back and forth all the time. And he's incredible and throws like the best parties. So the Queensberry is really cool. It used to be called Honeycut, but it's the Queensberry now. And it's like speakeasy vibes. And then they open a dance floor when it starts to get busy. and it turns into like a disco. It's fun.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's on
Sounds
a
like a good
Thursday
time.
also. You can catch me at either of those venues, or it's not consistent. So just follow me on Instagram for my latest. And then I think, and the Bungalow. I play at the Bungalow and I cover Lady Shaw at Santa Monica on Saturday nights, sometimes like a couple times a month. So I'll be there this Saturday. And then Bungalow Huntington Beach to cover my homie DJ XL when necessary on a Friday or Saturday night. So I'm
XL,
like a
RXL?
Yeah.
XL is
XL,
there.
shout
I
out
love
XL.
it. So if
Yeah.
Excel asks you to do something, I can't say no. I'm
You
like,
Yeah, you
fucking
got
do
it.
it. Yeah.
That's it.
he's
That's
like,
it.
can you cover me? And I'm like, well, I was gonna live stream at home, but okay.
Yeah, XL asked to be on our podcast and we had to put him on.
We
So
love Excel. We love
Yeah.
That's how it happened.
That's how it happened. No.
That's
That's how it went down.
what?
He said Excel asked to be on our podcast and we put him on. I was like, oh, is
Yeah.
that what happened?
Yeah.
we had
That's
to do it.
That's exactly word for word how it
We had to
happened.
do it.
Yeah.
For what you want.
I'm gonna pull up on you guys. I think Neek might be sliding out with me. This festival, This Ain't No Picnic. I don't know if you guys saw this.
Yes,
It's like-
it looks incredible.
Yeah, like Sparks, Latigra, Beach House, Kate Tronada, Strokes, LCD, and then
That's the one that
Soul Wax and James Murphy DJing all weekend. So when I'm down there, I will absolutely be pulling up on both your guys' DJ.
When is that?
nice. We might end up going to that. We don't know
Yeah.
yet.
August 27th and 28th.
Damn,
Who
I
knows
gotta
what
go.
we're going to be doing in
Who
August?
knows? Who
I
fucking knows?
I
I
figured
bought
just-
tickets. I'm like,
Another
we'll see.
variant called Xylophone, and we're all locked up.
Yeah. Optimus Homewrecker variant.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be.
Well played.
Somebody's gonna die.
Grasses.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much that's my schedule. And you follow both of us on Instagram, and that's where we post like our schedule. Like it's not too far in advance. but
Anything
it'll be,
worth
like,
knowing about is posted on the gram.
Yeah.
Love that.
Totally.
Morse Code and DJ Ivy. Fucking
so much.
incredible. Thank you guys. Thank you
Yes.
guys.
Thank you guys. That was so much fun.
No, thank you. This was
Fucking
great.
blast.
We
Y'all were great.
breezed through 3 hours of talking about a little bit of everything, and we had a fucking blast. We have to have you guys back. There's
Absolutely.
way more
Be
stuff
back.
I want to cover. We didn't even get into pools. We didn't even get into Ladysmith.
No.
We're going to talk about all of that
Part 2.
on part 2.
Yeah.
We will be back next week with another episode. Our guest next week, Jerome Baker III,
Oh,
is going to
sick.
be on here to join us. Until then, everyone stay safe. Don't cough in each other's mouths. Gentlemen, anything we need to talk about before we roll out?
Hey, go Bears. Let's get a GM.
Go Bears.
Let's get a coach in here. Okay.
Go Niners.
I want to give a special shout out to Colin's insane internal mode game when I first met him in Chicago.
It's still there.
It's still fucking
seen,
there.
I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Yeah, it hasn't
Like
left.
when I first met this dude at the after hours in Chicago, it's just
Yes, sir.
absolute monster on
It's just-
internal mode.
It's just a beast on internal.
Yeah.
Destroying it, like owning the room, destroying it. Absolute beast. Shout out to you, sir.
Thank you.
Internal
sir.
mode
Heard,
game,
I haven't
for
seen
sure.
it. It's an urban legend in my mind right now, but I can't wait to see it.
That was
It's a
my
sight to
hustle.
see.
That was my hustle moment. I moved to Chicago, and on the 6th day, I had my 1200 stolen out of my car. Coming home from a gig, I had stopped somewhere, and then I still had to make money, so I had to learn to play on internal, and then until I could afford 12s again. So here we are.
That's crazy.
And that's when I first caught some of your sets, and you were definitely playing some classic Bloghouse.
Hell yes.
So that's when
Hell
I
yeah.
first learned that you were kind of like, into that and
Hell yeah.
and into that era for sure.
I love it. I still buy Blockhouse records every single week. So
That's dope.
Nice.
I got this collection ready to go for some sort of weird event. But
Yes.
I do need to include, I have to make a bit of an opinion change. Previously, like 40 episodes ago, we dogged on Harry Styles, and I have to admit, I'm now the biggest fan. For our
Wait a minute, did
listeners
we
at
talk about
home,
Harry Styles?
I think, yeah.
Wait, what
Watermelon
song
Sugar.
did you get, or what album is that?
this
That's the
is
new John. That has
his
Watermelon Sugar.
newest
And
one.
Watermelon Sugar is catchy.
I know. I hated on it. I
It
hated on
is.
it. On our Grammy episode, you definitely hear me hating on Harry Styles, but I'm here to come clean, just like Bonix came clean about line dances.
Yeah.
And how he likes line dances. I am here to say Harry Styles is the truth. And I will definitely be seeing this man at Coachella this year.
You put me on to him the other last week, and I'm not mad at it.
Man, I've been playing Harry Styles.
This is your lane.
Yeah,
this is your lane.
That's your lane. I'm not. I'm not fucking listening to Harry Styles.
I know.
I listened to fucking Harry Styles the other day. I was like, it's not fucking terrible.
You guys are reminding me that I still need to peep that soft rock John Mayer album that I heard was actually really
it's great. I got it on wax.
I gotta listen to it. I gotta
peep that.
I got my signed copy right up above my stove over there.
I heard it's shit. Yeah.
It's fucking great.
It's great.
I went to a strip club with John Mayer once.
What?
See,
my first.
We gotta have them back.
Yeah,
we have to have them back.
No more, yo.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah.
Part 2.
We're calling off. We're calling off the dogs
now.
We cannot say goodbye any more time.
Right.
That was
right.
You guys strip clubs with John Mayer?
Yeah, I'm ending the podcast right now. I'm about to press
Mr.
stop
Body
right now.
Wonderland himself.
Yeah,
you guys walked out. Now we're all gonna walk out one by one. These stories are too fucking good, and we have to have you back. We have to have you back. Thank you guys so fucking much.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks so much.
It's so nice to hear the history, to hear the stories, and to be able to kind of put some of these moments into the universe, into a podcast, and to hear humble beginnings and wild ass street stories, because that's what we're here for. The streets. We're here for the streets.
We are.
We'll be back next week, like I said, and until then, peace.
Hey, peace. Thank you.
Bye.